Thanks, Jim.
Vice been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
According to your complaint, you have overpaid child support to Mrs. Denton for triplets that were born as a result of a brief relationship that you had with Miss Denton. We'll get into the logistics and the timing of it in a moment, and these children have been adopted at this point by her husband.
Yes, ma'am.
And according to you, that this overpayment was made after the adoption was finalized, so you want the $2,400 back. Mr. and Mrs. Denton say that it's true that the money was paid, was taken out of your salary, I assume, after the children were adopted, but that for a very long time you paid nothing, so stop complaining.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, when were you and Mrs. Denton together?
In March of 1998, ma'am.
And was it a monogamous relationship, or was it a boyfriend-girlfriend, or was it a casual relationship?
Casual.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And when did you find out that these children were going to be born?
Before I had left for Korea in 1998, she had mentioned to me that she was pregnant.
Mentioned?
Mentioned it.
That's not usually something you just mentioned.
Well, it wasn't actually her that had told me. It was one of her friends that she had put on the phone. They had told me that she was pregnant. And then shortly before I had left.
Okay. Do you remember what month that was? You remember?
It was April.
I told him in April.
Had you ever been pregnant before?
No, ma'am.
So this was just a lucky break that you had triplets the first time around.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. And lucky for you. Did you have any communication with Miss Denton from April until the triplets were born?
Very little. Right before I had left, she had actually mentioned to me that they were triplets.
What month did you tell them they were triplets?
When I found out in June.
Miss Denton, where were you living at the time?
With my mother and father.
Were you shocked?
Very.
Were your parents shocked?
Very.
In June, you advised them that they were going to be triplets.
Yes, ma'am.
And you left for Korea.
Yes, ma'am.
There was never any discussion of the two of you finalizing a relationship.
Ma'am, I didn't believe they were mine to begin with.
Okay.
From the get-go.
Now, the children were born when?
They were born in 1999.
When?
September.
September 1998.
I'm sorry, 98.
September the 17th.
And when did you meet Mr. Denton?
In June of 1998.
Had you ever been married before?
No, ma'am.
And so you understood when you were getting married to this lady that you were taking on the responsibility of instant family.
Yes, ma'am.
When, for the first time, did you discuss with Amy the probability of your adopting the girls?
It was discussed off and on early in our relationship, shortly after we got married.
When did you get married?
Actually, 2 weeks after they were born, October 3rd of '98.
During the time that you were courting, between June and October, did you discuss what the family dynamic was going to be with him?
We were trying to decide whether or not that we should let them know that they have that their biological father, or just leave it as if I was the father. She was persistent on the fact that they needed to know that that was their father at first, and I really didn't have that feeling in my heart because I wanted to personally take care of myself.
When did you notify Sergeant Juan that he was the father of triplets?
When they were born, Red Cross sent a message stating that if they wouldn't let me say that his kids were born because we weren't married. They told him that a friend of his had triplets.
And you received that message?
I did not, ma'am.
You did not?
I did not receive that.
When did you first communicate with him?
In June of 2000. Well, I went to child support in June of 2000.
When the children were born, did you put his name on the birth certificate as the father?
No, ma'am, they would not let me.
Had you and your husband at that point decided that it was best if he adopt the children?
We had discussed it.
And I assume that he was parenting these little girls.
Yes,
and that's
ma'am.
a full-time job.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? Do you work?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm in the service as well. I'm in the Army.
When you went to child support, what was the purpose of your going to child support?
To get help, because it's very expensive.
At that point, were you anxious for your husband to adopt the children?
We would like it. We were wanting it, yes.
I assume. You figure, well, if you push him to pay, he'd be more than anxious to give up his parental rights since he hadn't seen the children anyway.
Yes, ma'am.
That's the back scenario. Well, what happened the first time you raised the issue of adoption?
He said he would not do it.
And when was that?
I do not recall exactly when it was.
Is that before or after?
It was after child support had started.
Ma'am, they actually had asked me prior to the child support starting. They wanted me to sign the papers so he could adopt them. I refused to because, number one, I didn't know for a fact that they were mine. I wasn't going to do it without blood tests.
So that they asked you to sign the papers relinquishing your parental rights before child support.
Correct.
That sounds more likely. And then child support was ordered. You went and you took a blood test, and as it turns out, you are the biological father of these 3 little girls.
Correct.
Did you start to visit them?
I did. On numerous occasions, I attempted to go over there. She had actually called me a few times to come over and spend some time with the girls. Unfortunately, most of the time it was late night. I didn't have a lot of time during the day or on weekends to see them unless it was later in the evening.
Why?
Because most of the time during the day I was working until about 1700, 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
You have other children, sir?
I did have one other child at the time, yes.
What do you mean you did?
I gave her up for adoption as well.
You just keep pollinating around? Sergeant Juan, you've got to keep it zipped, sir.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You know, you're a grown-up, or at least you're old enough to be a grown-up. You're not responsible enough to be a grown-up, Sergeant, because grown-ups don't make irresponsible decisions all the time. And apparently you did.
And later today,
How long had you been in prison?
3 years, 7 months, 14 days,
And how old was your son when he was murdered?
23.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Jeffrey Wan says the mother of his triplets, Amy Denton, and her husband, Daniel, owe for the return of child support. Jeffrey claims the couple accepted money after Daniel adopted the children.
So far, you got 4 babies, and it's easy to sign a piece of paper. It's much easier to, use protection. Much easier. Causes a lot less pain to a lot more people, get hurt. You have family?
Yes, ma'am.
You have mother?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a father?
I do.
You have siblings?
Yes.
Right now you have a mother and a father who have 4 grandchildren that they will never see. That creates a heartache, even if you put it in the back of your mind someplace. Right?
Yes, it does.
You gotta grow up. Who is this?
That's my wife, ma'am.
You have children together?
Not yet, ma'am.
Okay. Well, after child support was ordered and you tried to see the girls and there was problems late night and whatever, when did you decide that you were going to consent to the adoption?
It was April of last year. They had asked me to allow them to change the names to Denton or add the name Denton onto their last names because they had another daughter as well who had the last name Denton. The girls wanted to have the same last name with their little sister. At first I said I wasn't going to allow it, and then I said the only way that it was going to happen was if he would adopt them. I don't want to have to put up with not being able to see my daughters on numerous occasions.
You didn't want to have 3 children have somebody else's last name and you paying support, right?
Correct.
Okay. And had your other child already been adopted?
Yes, ma'am.
So you knew how it worked?
Yes, ma'am.
When was the adoption finalized?
It was finalized in August of 2003.
For how many months did you receive support that came right out of his check?
I received it August, September, October, November, and December.
All right, Miss Denton, tell me why you don't think you should give him the money back.
I don't feel we should owe him anything. He didn't pay us anything for 2.5 years. We asked him to please come see the children. We gave him chances. He would not do it because he did not want to do it in our home. He wanted to take them out of our home, which was fine. We felt after they got to know him and he got to know them, then they could go with him.
Why are you laughing, sir?
I'm just finding some of this to be amusing, ma'am.
Why?
The way that she said that I never wanted to go see I never wanted to see them, I never attempted to, is completely wrong. On numerous occasions I had tried to go see them, and most of the time they were with their grandparents or with their aunt and uncle or just out and about doing something where I wasn't afforded the opportunity to see them until later in the evening.
Sergeant, you are not a person without rights. And if visitation is something that you want, regularly scheduled visitation, you go to court and you say, I want a regular fixed period of visitation with my girls, and the court will set that kind of an order. But you can't stand there like a crybaby and say, well, she only let me see the children when it was convenient for her and she made it difficult for me. You're a grown-up, or at least you're old enough to be a grown-up. You're not responsible enough to be a grown-up, Sergeant, because grown-ups don't make irresponsible decisions all the time. And apparently you did. Mrs. Denton, what I'm gathering from the 2 of you is that From the time the two of you met while you were pregnant, it was your hope, and your hope, sir, that you were going to be raising these girls as your own, and he wasn't going to be involved in your life.
Yes.
So that you did not pursue the issue of child support for several years.
Yes,
You were trying to see if you could get rid of him, you know. The longer he abandoned his responsibility and the fact that he had 3 children, the easier it would be for you to terminate his parental rights, free the children for adoption, and allow your husband to adopt them, which is really what you wanted.
Yes, ma'am.
So you have to return the money. I mean, you got what you wanted. And you knew that you shouldn't have taken this money after the adoption was finalized. When were you notified that the adoption was finalized,
Not
sir?
until December.
Well, as of August of 2003, this gentleman, the pollinator, had no legal obligation to support these girls because you and your husband got exactly what you wanted, which was you got him out of your life. You don't have to worry about him coming to visit, speaking with you. You don't have to worry about making decisions with him. He's out of your life. And you knew that you had no right to keep this money, so you could have sent it back to him. You chose not to do that. Well, that's the wrong thing to do. You know, if you're cutting the cord, you cut the cord, and you don't accept the money. And you didn't ask for any money until 2000. Anyway, judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,400. I assume that these are the only 4 children that you have. Is that
These
right?
are the only 4 children that I have, yes, ma'am.
Perfect. That's all. You're going to think about that, aren't you?
I have one on the way.
Good. This one I assume you're going to stick with and support.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. That's all. Thank you. Good luck.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I felt like I was being taken advantage of. They were just collecting the money from me that I couldn't do anything about.
He knew from the beginning. He blew me off, basically.
I can't say that I was always the best person, but at the same time, I don't think I was irresponsible.
We would invite him to our home to see them, but he wouldn't because it wasn't the way he wanted it.
I think that he tried really hard on trying to see the girls, and they made it absolutely impossible.
Having to explain to the girls when they get older that we tried and he chose not to be part of their lives.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Young versus Thomas. Step forward.
Plaintiff Sarah Young is suing her deceased son's father, Bill Thomas, for his share of the funeral. Sarah says their son was murdered outside a convenience store.
You and Mr. Thomas had a son together.
That's correct.
That son, unfortunately, according to what I read in your complaint, was murdered.
Right.
And there was an insurance policy.
That's correct.
And the insurance policy was divided in half.
Yes.
You received half, and Mr. Thomas received half.
That's correct.
At the time that your son was murdered, you were in prison, Mr. Thomas, is that right?
That's correct.
How long had you been in prison?
3 years, 7 months, 14 days.
And how old was your son when he was murdered?
23.
You know the date of his death?
Yes, I do.
What was that?
January the 10th, 2004.
Now, what kind of an insurance policy did he have, Miss Young?
He worked for UPS, and he had a life insurance on the job.
And how much was the life insurance policy, the value that was paid?
It was $24,300.
And you received $12,000?
Yes, I did.
And Mr. Thomas received $12,000?
Yes, he did.
Is that right, Mr. Thomas?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. How much did the funeral cost?
The funeral was about $9,000.
And you want him to pay for half of the burial, which would be about $4,500.
Okay.
And what do you say about that, Mr. Thomas?
Well, the funeral
Well is not an answer, Mr. Thomas.
Yes, ma'am. The funeral only cost $3,484.
You can prove that?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me see it, please. Is that your defense, sir? That it wasn't as expensive?
No,
or is your defense that you don't want to pay at all?
No, my defense is, not that I didn't want to pay at all. My defense is that I was never asked to pay anything to this day. The only time that I figured that I owed something is when I was served papers for $5,000. And I was away from my home at the time, and when I came home, and my wife said, your daughter came by and served some papers on you for her mother.
You testified that you paid directly out of your money for the funeral, is that right?
Yes.
Can I see the checks to the funeral parlor and the undertaker?
Hold on.
And how did you pay them? By check?
Yes.
Can I see the checks, please?
I don't have the checks because I went through the credit union and I didn't know I had time to get the copy of it.
You had plenty of time, madam. These were in January of 2004.
What I meant, the reason I didn't have time to get the check when I decided to file, because first I was just going to let him walk away with the money and just go on about my business and take the pains in a different way. So I said, he started getting small with me and talking to me, you know, any type of way. I said, you know, I'm not going to let you get away with that. I spent 23 years old, 23 years climbing a pole, crawling on the house, taking care of my child. And then when he got killed, all you did is walked over and got half of the money. And I will not let you get away with that. And that's why I filed.
Okay, but
now,
just Miss Young, but you have to understand, your claim is for half of your son's funeral expenses.
Right.
Now, Mr. Thomas is under no legal obligation to pay you half of your son's funeral expenses.
Okay.
I'm not saying he doesn't have a moral obligation, but this isn't a moral court. This is a law court. So he has no legal obligation to pay for the funeral. But assuming today,
okay,
Mr. Thomas says to me, I would pay for half. That's the right thing to do. But you don't have proof of what you paid. And I'm asking you why.
I didn't burn the check.
Well, I can't help you, madam.
Okay.
If you come back, if you want to dismiss this case without prejudice and come back and show me proof that you've paid, that's fine. But that's only if Mr. Thomas will agree that if she has proof that she actually paid for this funeral, you say she did not. But if she has proof that she actually paid, are you prepared to pay for half?
Yes, I'm willing to pay for half, Your Honor.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Your Honor.
That's it.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Yeah, it's case number 570 in the matter of delay versus Peterson.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ladies, have a seat, please.
Ms. DeLay, you and the defendant were friends throughout high school, and no quicker way to destroy a friendship very often than to become roommates in college. The two of you decided to share an apartment together. You signed a lease to a two-bedroom apartment. It didn't work out, and you both moved out.
Correct.
You paid the transfer fee, allowing each of you to move into a one-bedroom apartment. You want Ms. Peterson to be responsible for half of that transfer fee, plus her part of a cable bill that you say was in your name.
Yes.
Ms. Peterson says that your behavior and things that went on in the apartment made it impossible to stay there. She says that you wanted to move out, so you pay the transfer fee. And as far as the cable is concerned, she says you put a password on there that precluded her from using the internet and cable. She has no intention of paying it. She's counterclaiming for some nonsense. She wants you to return all the rent she paid because she didn't have a good time. Well, that's about what it is. So that's ridiculous. But I'll let you explain it to me in a very short period of time.
Okay.
Okay. When did you move into the apartment?
We signed the lease July 8th, and I moved in July 8th.
And Ms. Peterson moved in 2 months later.
Correct.
Okay. When did you sign the transfer agreement?
I don't have the exact date, but it was end of January. I moved into my new apartment, I believe, end of January, early February.
All right. So that Ms. Peterson lived there September, October, November, December. And when did you move out?
I moved out on the 16th of January.
Now, you're going to explain to me, Ms. Peterson, why you are not responsible for one half of the transfer fee that permitted the two of you to go your separate ways. You were both unhappy, correct?
Yes.
Both unhappy. You explain to me why you should not be responsible for half that transfer fee.
Okay. Back in July, in the summer, Veronica expressed to me that she wanted me to find a new roommate to cover her half of the lease. And I went forward with that, and I found a roommate.
In July?
In July, before we were even living together, because of the cable internet bill, because I said I wasn't going to pay it. Because I didn't need it. I don't watch TV, and I had friends who were moving upstairs who said I could use their internet, or I could go down to the common room where they offer it for free. So I found a roommate, and in the end of August, the first weekend before school, I spoke to Veronica, and she said, oh, I'm not moving out anymore. So.
And in September, you stayed?
I did. because I had
Fine.
no choice.
Fine, you stayed.
Right.
But things were not good.
No. In November, I moved most of my things upstairs to my friend's apartment, and I was hardly ever at the apartment. If I was, I locked myself in my room because I didn't feel comfortable with her and her boyfriend being there all the time. I was scared, and I felt harassed and threatened by her.
Listen to me. Then you should be very happy that she said, let's sign off on this lease and it'll cost us each $600.
Well,
and then we're out of each other's hair.
Well, at that point, I was so frustrated with everything I had been put through that...
Get unfrustrated. Get unfrustrated and grow up. It wasn't good. It wasn't a good situation.
Well, can I say something?
Yeah, say whatever you want to say.
My mom and my father and I all discussed commuting because we didn't want to give Veronica any more money. I had paid for her boyfriend to sleep over multiple times. I was never there.
Listen to me.
It was like having a third roommate, though.
I don't care. Listen, your parents care if you're unhappy.
Right.
Your parents care. Courts don't care if you're unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
Courts don't care if you don't like her boyfriend sleeping over. They don't care.
Well, there's a clause in the lease that says that no person can stay more than 14 nights, and I kept track on a calendar, and it exceeded the 14 nights, and we got a possible eviction notice from it.
Yeah.
Your Honor,
Just a second.
Okay.
All of that suggests to me that you should be very happy to find a new place all by yourself.
I wasn't even living there, though, at that point.
That's your choice.
Right.
That's your choice. What do you want?
I wanted to say something on Elizabeth's defense, Your Honor.
That?
I'm her mother, and on December 16th, my husband and I went into the peninsula. We hooked up the cable and the TV and the DVD player. And
Because Veronica would no longer
Just
let
a
me
second.
use hers.
Right. Elizabeth wasn't able to use it. We went downstairs and we met with the Peninsula management, and we wanted Veronica to sign off the lease. That's what we needed, so we wouldn't be responsible for the apartment any longer. And what we were going to do was have Elizabeth commute. So there was no reason for us to pay a transfer fee. But Veronica is the one that wanted to move out. She wanted her own apartment. And yes, we did want that too.
Your daughter wasn't staying there. She wasn't staying there because she was unhappy. Either she breaks the lease or she signs a transfer agreement. Those are the options.
But that was the option for Veronica too. She could have broken the lease.
Just to say, she could have. This is a much better thing to do, rather than breaking the lease, to sign an orderly transfer agreement so that the landlord doesn't say, I'm stuck because they broke the lease. What I want to do is I want to move into another place. This is what it's going to cost. Otherwise, I'm on the hook for the entire year lease from January until the following June.
But I didn't trust that Veronica would do anything. She hadn't done it in the past.
I don't care what you trusted. Right now, it's a fait accompli. It's done. Your daughter is responsible for half the transfer fee on the apartment. There's no issue with regard to that. The only issue that I have for you, Ms. DeLea, is did you have a password or any device that precluded the defendant from using the internet and or cable?
I had a password.
Just a second. That's either a yes or a no.
On the internet, yes.
Did she say to you at any point, I'm not interested in cable?
She told me in November.
That's either a yes or a no.
In November, yes.
What month's cable do you think she's responsible for half of?
September through January.
She's not.
Okay.
She's not responsible for any of those.
Your Honor, she disconnected my cable in December, and even though I was still paying for it, prevented me from watching it.
I don't care. There has to be a contract. There has to be an agreement.
Your Honor, I have
Listen to me very carefully.
Yes, ma'am.
There has to be a contract and an agreement.
I have one.
For
I
whom?
have an email, her writing that she would be responsible for half of all the cable and internet and electric bills.
Just a second. Did you tell me that you put a password so she could not use the internet?
There was a password on it originally, but... Excuse me.
I'm asking your daughter a question. Sit. You too.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Veronica DeLea says her former roommate, Elizabeth Peterson, owes for cable bills and an apartment transfer fee. Elizabeth is countersuing for the return of rent and harassment.
I'm asking whether she told you she wasn't going to use the internet, and you put a password on there that precluded her from tapping into the internet in your apartment.
I was required to put a password on the internet from the beginning, so yes, there was a password.
Did she have it?
No, ma'am.
Then she's not responsible for it.
Okay.
But she's responsible for half the transfer fee.
I just have...
Put your hand down.
Okay.
Stop being a baby. That's what you're responsible for. just tell me what half the transfer fee is.
Half the transfer is $625.
Fine. You owe her $625 for that. Now, you want to give me your counterclaim in 30 seconds or less?
I have a breakdown of the
I'm not
counterclaim.
interested in your breakdown. Yeah, you have 30 seconds or less to tell me about your counterclaim, which is nonsense.
Well, my countersuit was because Veronica was using drugs in the apartment, and I'm on a full scholarship at my school, and that really, I could have lost my scholarship if she got caught at the apartment because we both signed the lease.
But you didn't.
No, we didn't. But one of the security guards approached me saying that he smelled.
You can't tell me anything that a security guard told you.
I have a report from him.
You can't tell me anything that anybody else said to you or wrote out in a statement that is hearsay. Do you have a police report?
I talked to the lieutenant of the police station because the security guard had him come down.
That's hearsay.
Well, I called and they didn't have a report. I was very surprised.
Listen, you happy now with your new roommates?
Yes, but I'm unhappy that my scholarship was in jeopardy. And it was like having a third roommate there at the apartment.
My dear, did you lose your scholarship?
No.
Good. You owe her $625 transfer fee and your counterclaim's dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She demanded that I had to ask her permission for every visitor.
But I asked just in case I had a test the next day because the walls are paper thin, you can hear everything through them.
We had to divide the cabinets in the kitchen.
I asked for one cabinet to put all my snacks in because I eat all organic.
I don't know. She just went crazy, pretty much.
She just doesn't care, so I'm going to live with people who aren't as selfish.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Polk versus Eskine. Step forward, please.
Victor Polk is suing the mother of his son's friend, Renata Eskine, for the cost to fix his car. Victor says Renata's son, 17-year-old Kerry Thomas, damaged the vehicle when he tried to jump over it.
Who jumped over the car? Raise your hand.
I did.
Stand over there. Mr. Polk, it is your claim that the defendant damaged your car.
Yes, ma'am.
He was playing a game with your son. I assume your son is sitting over there?
Yes, ma'am. That's Valentina.
And the game was to jump over your car.
Yeah.
Mrs. Eskine's son jumped over your car, landed on your car, dented your car. You want him to pay for your car.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Mrs. Eskine has some ridiculous defense. She says that your son goaded her son into jumping over the car.
That's correct.
That's wrong. Nobody goads somebody into doing something that's wrong and doesn't take responsibility.
He took responsibility.
Then he has to take responsibility for paying for the damage that he caused to the car. Reasonable?
Reasonable.
Great. So the only question is how much, right?
No, ma'am.
Why?
Because he didn't jump it alone, and he wasn't involved in it alone. They did it together. Both parents are both.
Just a second, Miss Eskine, are you telling me that this young man jumped on and damaged the car?
Yes.
Okay, you, talk to me.
Tell him.
You, talk to me.
Well, we were outside one October night. Me,
Listen,
him, and so.
I don't care if it was an October night, whether it was starry or not. All I want to know is you, an idiot over here, were playing a game of jumping over a car. Which idiot fell on the car?
I slid into the car.
Not him.
No, ma'am.
Then your mother is wrong. Put your hand down. Miss Eskind, I'm telling you what the law is. That's why you're here. Not what you feel in your gut as a mother. What the law is. He was lucky. He didn't cause damage to the car. He wasn't lucky. He did cause damage to the car.
The mother caused damage also.
No, my dear, not according to your son. You don't have your listening ears on. Not according to your son. According to your son, the only one that went into the car, slid into the car, was him. That's what he told me. So your thinking process, while understandable that the boys are playing, and they should both be responsible, is not what the law is. The law does not prescribe that he has to pay for damage that he did, because he can say, no, I'm not doing it. You want to do it to your father's car? That's fine. No, I'm not doing it. And if he didn't do it, then there wouldn't be damage to the car. Is that right, Mr. Eskind?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The only question I have for you...
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
not finished, Your Honor.
You're finished. The only question I have for you, sir, is, I looked very carefully at your complaint. You said that initially it wasn't such a big deal, but then you realized that you had just had the car at a custom paint job.
Yes, ma'am.
Because it's a designer car. What kind of car is it?
Vintage 1991 Ford Mustang 5.0, convertible.
Okay. This incident happened on what date?
We don't have a date.
What date?
October the 10th.
I want to see the bill for painting the car prior to October 10th.
My initial paint job?
My painter.
Don't give me a big story.
I don't have
Mr. Polk.
I don't have the receipt.
That's my problem.
The painter that painted my car, his name's Carlos. He's in America on a work visa from Mexico. I went back to Carlos to see if he could get me a receipt. Our business was cash-based, so therefore he did not...
Show me a withdrawal from your bank for $2,300.
I don't have a withdrawal
Then I don't
receipt.
believe you, sir. Then I don't believe that you spent $2,300 to paint your car. That's my problem. Got what I mean? I want to see a picture of the damage to the car.
Sure. These are before and after pictures. If you take a look at the paint job on that car, you'll see that it's an immaculate paint job.
It may be an immaculate paint job, sir. You should have gotten me a receipt.
Why is it in the front yard?
Just a second. I'm not speaking to you.
I was showing it off.
Put your hand down.
I'm proud of
you.
my car.
Why is it in the front yard?
Well, this whole fender has to be painted. There's no question about that. And it has to be fixed. There's a dent in it. Now I'll see your estimate to fix it. Oh, so this time you took it to a Chevrolet place?
Yes.
The first time you took it to an all-cash guy?
Carlos is no longer in Nashville, in my hometown.
Yeah, you're going to have to get it done for less. What do you want?
Your Honor, he's been working on this car for 5 years. He redid the inside of it.
I've got more than $10,000.
Let me ask you this question, sir. Did you discuss with your child the game he was playing over your car?
Oh, yes, I did.
I want you to tell me about the discussion that you were having with the idiot about jumping over the car.
I told him that it was a ridiculous thing to do.
And what did he say to you?
He said he wasn't thinking. And that's the only explanation. Would you like to get up and tell her?
Yes, ma'am. Can I get up there and talk to you quick?
Oh, be my pleasure.
Oh. Well, first place, I didn't jump over the car at all. Like, I'm sorry. But the whole thing started, like, when we were playing basketball.
If you say anything, a sentence with the word like in it,
I'm sorry.
you can sit down.
Okay. This is what happened. We started playing basketball, and I bet him. I was like, I bet you I can jump over my dad's car.
Sit down. I don't want to hear anymore. You're an idiot.
Man, can I finish real quick?
Sit down. Just sit down. Mrs. Eskind has to pay for your car, sir, but she's not going to pay any more for the car than I think it's worth, because I don't think that you have to have the whole car repainted.
You do not understand how much time and effort and money I've sunk into this car.
Your son should have been more careful with it.
I cannot.
Listen to me. Your son should have been more careful with it.
I understand that.
Good. Shouldn't have been playing basketball around it. You think it would have gotten dented if a basketball hit it?
That's why I don't let them play basketball near my car.
It was right in the yard, by the street.
Did I ask you anything? You're responsible because he's responsible. He's bigger than you are. Let
I
him
never
go
said
get a
I
job.
wasn't.
Good. Okay, now what's the piece of paper you want to show me?
This is the very first estimate he brought to me.
That I'll see.
On the night of the
That I'll
election, of the president election. I told him I did not mind working with him on half of those damages.
So is what you're telling me that the first estimate is just Price's Collision Center was $614.42?
Correct.
This is what he gave you first?
Yes.
Can you explain the disparity to me, sir, between $614.42 and the $2,300 you want now?
That is just for replacement of the fender. It is not for matching of the paint or anything like that.
That's not true. It says
she told me on our
It's
initial.
not true. But that's not. Hey, that's not true. It says paint labor 3.4 hours at $38 an hour, $129. Body labor 3 hours, $114. Parts $219. It has everything here. It all adds up to $614.42.
The car could not be painted on just the fender.
I don't know that, sir, at all. That's your first
received
estimate.
that.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $614.42. That's all.
On the calendar in the matter of Schwartfeger versus Day. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
Schwartfeger?
That's correct.
How old are you, sir?
22.
Bert, I want you to pay careful attention. We're going to go over this scorecard so that you know who the players are in this case.
Gotcha.
Because I have a feeling it's going to be interesting. Who is this young lady?
That is my girlfriend, Sarah Buckley.
What does she have to do with this case?
She is a witness to the harassment, the vandalism to my vehicle, and she's also known the defendant and his daughters for about 5 to 6 years.
How long have you been his girlfriend?
Since November.
So a short-term girlfriend?
Yes.
Mr. Day, these are your two daughters.
That's correct.
Your name is?
Samantha.
How old are you, Samantha?
17.
And your name?
Kathleen.
How old are you, Kathleen?
22.
Kathleen, why don't you stand up next to your dad for a minute? Because we're going to get this whole scenario down here. Kathleen, you used to be his girlfriend, is that right?
Yes.
For how long were you his girlfriend?
Almost 4 years.
You have children with him?
2.
How old are your 2 children?
One just turned 3 and one's about 18 months.
Did you live together for a period of time?
Yeah.
For how long?
About 3 of those 4 years.
And how old were you when you started to live with him?
18.
Now you can sit down.
Thank you.
I may come back to you, but right now you can sit. This is what your lawsuit's about, William. According to you, you were being a good Samaritan. And at some point, you took in Mr. Day's younger daughter
That's correct.
into your home because you say she was having some trouble with her dad.
Both parents, Your Honor.
Both parents.
Yes.
Now, at the time that you took her into your house, were you still living with Kathleen?
No, I wasn't.
So Kathleen wasn't living with you anymore with your 2 children. She had left you. You had parted ways.
Right.
But Samantha came to live with you, and at that time, Samantha was 16.
That's right.
Mr. Day didn't like that.
Not at all, ma'am.
You didn't like what happened with your first daughter,
That's correct.
and you for sure didn't like what happened with your second daughter.
That's very correct.
So what did you do, Mr. Day?
Well, Mr. Shortfigure hit Samantha in the mouth.
After she was living with him?
Yes.
Okay, let's stop there for a moment. What date did your daughter leave your home?
April 13th.
Of 2003?
Yes. It wasn't my home. She was still with her mother at that time.
You and her mother are separated?
Yes.
In any event, this is what your lawsuit is about, William. Your lawsuit says that Mr. Day filed false charges against you for child endangerment, protective orders, causing you to have to hire an attorney, legal fees, and everything that he said about you was false, and you want to be compensated to the tune of $1,954.
That's correct.
Mr. Day, just for good measure, says, well, he wants some money too because you caused him to lose work and attorney's fees because he had to hire an attorney in order to get certain orders reinstated. He wants some money. I think most of what he wants is satisfaction.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, William, tell me about when Kathleen left your house with your 2 children.
We were living together until December of 2002, I believe.
And how old were your children at that point?
The one was 3 months, and the other one was a little over 2 years old. Or, I'm sorry, she had not turned 2 yet.
And why did she leave?
We were having problems in our relationship. We've had an on and off relationship for the last 4.5 to 5 years, so...
It was during the odd periods that you had these children?
Yeah.
Was it an amicable breakup?
Pretty much.
And you continue to see the children?
Yes, on a regular basis.
And you continue to support the children?
That's right. I pay child support every week.
For both children?
That's right.
Okay. And where did Kathleen go when she left?
Actually, she stayed in the apartment that we shared.
And you left?
That's right.
So far, is that correct, Kathleen?
No.
Well, why don't you come up here and tell me what happened? Because this is all very important as far as Mr. Day's state of mind when he filed his complaints. When did you and William separate?
December of 2002.
Under what circumstances?
He was sleeping with my sister.
And how did you find that out, Kathleen?
I found notes.
Did you keep the notes?
My mom has them right now.
You get along with your mother?
Yeah.
Should have brought the notes to court.
I know, she won't give them to me. She said it's an embarrassment to our children.
What did the notes say? First
They
of all,
were-
who wrote the notes?
He did.
Remember what they said?
It said Samantha down the side. It said sexy, amazing, mind-blowing, awesome, naughty, terrific, hot, and a dream come true.
Did you confront William with the note?
Yes.
What did he say?
He said they wrote it as a joke, together.
And when was that?
About 2 weeks before Christmas, December 2002.
You remember that conversation, William?
Yes, I do.
So you told Kathleen, the mother of your 2 children, that the note that you wrote that talked about sexy, naughty, etc., with regard to her sister, her 16-year-old sister, were just joking around.
Well, I write a lot of poetry in the
Joking around.
Yeah.
That's what you told her.
Yeah, I said we wrote it together. Yes.
Oh. Shh, please. You left.
I left for the day, but I stayed in the apartment. I asked him to leave.
And did he leave?
He left after a few days.
And that was in December.
That's correct.
When did Samantha come to live with you, sir?
In April of 2003.
And where were you living at the time?
I just got an apartment, and I had an extra bedroom So I figured, you know.
How did Samantha know that you had an extra bedroom?
Well, we stayed in contact. Kathleen and I weren't talking at the time, so I used Samantha as a mediator to, you know, see my children and to make sure that they were doing okay.
You said you saw your children regularly, so what do you mean you needed a mediator?
Well, at first, the visitation wasn't every weekend like it is now. Like I said, Kathleen and I weren't on speaking terms at that time.
You weren't on speaking terms because she believed that you were having intimate relations with a 16-year-old sister. That a fair statement?
Yeah.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You made 2 babies with one of his children, and then his daughter finds out that you're messing around with her 16-year-old sister. The 2 sisters, you know, like you live in Utah.
And later today,
You were together. You went on vacations together. You slept together, intimately involved with each other
Right.
for all that time.
Right.
Get a life, sir.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. William Joe Schwartfager says his ex-girlfriend's father, Warren Day, owes for attorney fees and harassment. Warren says after William broke up with Kathleen, he had an affair with her 16-year-old sister.
Now tell me what Mr. Day did with regard to his 16-year-old daughter moving in with you.
Nothing at first. Samantha and Mr. Day weren't on speaking terms when it first happened.
She was living with her mother.
That's right, and she was having problems with her mother. She was, you know, living in and out of her friend's house, you know, running away from her house, not going to school, stuff like that.
Between December and April, did you see Samantha?
We met up a couple times.
The answer is yes.
Yes.
How many times would you estimate you saw Samantha?
About once a week, maybe.
Could it have been twice a week?
It wasn't like everyday basis that she was over at where I was at, but...
I didn't say every day,
Well-
William. You said once a week. And what I said to you is, could it have been twice a week?
It might have been a couple weeks that she came over more than once, yes.
And when she would come over, would she stay for an hour or two?
She'd stay for a couple hours.
And what would you do when she came over?
We'd hang out with the kids, talk about when the next time I get to see them, you know, where we were going to meet to get the kids and everything else, so...
When did Mr. Day file the first of his protective orders?
In July.
You have a copy of it?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see it, please.
This paper is also the ruling after the
Just
case.
a second. So he filed a protective order indicating that in July you hit Samantha in the mouth.
That's right.
July 2003, Samantha. Were you living with William at the time?
Yes.
Did he hit you in the mouth?
Yes.
Under what circumstances?
I came home and him and his friends had been drinking and we got into an argument. At that time, we went into the bedroom. He took me into the bedroom. His friends stayed in the other room and one thing led to another. He actually picked me up, threw me into the table, and that's how I busted my lip open.
So he didn't hit you in the mouth, he picked you up and threw you into a table, which caused you to hurt your lip. And what did you do in July when he did that to you?
Well, we kept fighting. He actually left. I called my friends to come get me because he took my keys and threw them in the dumpster. And he came back and he was being very rude to my friends, and then I left. And then 2 days later, I think, is when they actually filed the protection order.
Where were you living at the time?
I was living with Joe, but I was staying with my friend Stephanie after we got in an argument.
So you were living with him?
Yes.
What kind of an apartment did he have?
It was a 2-bedroom apartment.
Who else lived there?
Just me and him.
Did you have your own bedroom?
No.
Did you share the bedroom with him?
Yes.
For how long?
Ever since we moved in. We actually got the apartment together. He didn't have it when we were together.
You went to court in August of 2003. Do you remember going to court in August of 2003? Yes. Did the judge ask you any questions?
Yes.
Why did you lie to the judge?
Because I thought that I was in love and I was scared. He told me what to say and I said what he said to say.
Had you gone back to him at the time?
We were on a restraining order, so we couldn't see each other, but yeah, we were still together.
Were you speaking to him?
Not during the protection order.
Did you tell your father that you were going to not tell the truth when the judge asked you questions?
Yes.
What did he say?
Not much. He told me I better tell the truth.
Is that right, sir?
That is correct, ma'am.
When your 16-year-old daughter got to court, she didn't tell the truth. Is that right?
That's correct.
And this, William, is what you're really suing over, this case that was dismissed.
Yeah, that's part of the lawsuit, yes.
Tell me what the other part is.
In February, he filed another protective order against me. Samantha had moved out, in late October, and I didn't understand why it was...
So she came back to you after this original protective order, and she moved out again in late October?
That's right. She moved back into my house probably about a month after the case, and then she quit her job, stopped going to school, and those were, I told her if she was going to live with me, she had to keep her job, go to school. And then later on, my car got vandalized.
Who do you think vandalized your car, sir?
Samantha. We do have audio tapes that were gone over by the county attorney.
Don't tell me what audio tapes were gone over by anybody else, sir. That's hearsay.
Okay.
Do you have any witness to Samantha vandalizing your car?
Samantha's older sister, Kathleen, she was the one that actually told me that it was Samantha that vandalized my car.
No.
What did you say to him?
I said it wasn't my brother, and it wasn't my sister.
Well, I don't know.
There's a lot of people that hate you, so.
Yeah. I can think of 3 right there. Maybe 4. William, I'm going to tell you a word that you probably don't know. Interestingly enough, Officer Byrd knows this word, because when I say the word, he's going to understand, as will a lot of other people, because I'm going to explain the word to you. The word, William, is chutzpah. Do you know what chutzpah means, Byrd?
Sure.
Chutzpah means nerve. You got a lot of nerve to put on a suit and tie, bring your girlfriend into a court to sue this man after you made 2 babies with one of his children, irresponsibly. Now, you're only partially responsible for that, but you're half responsible for that. And then his daughter finds out that you're messing around with her 16-year-old sister, and she leaves you. Or you leave. She tells you to leave. And then you invite her 16-year-old sister to move into your house, the 2 sisters, like you live in Utah. And then you have the chutzpah to sue him as a parent for getting angry with you because his daughter tells him, not only am I sleeping with him, but he picked me up, he got angry when he was drinking, threw me against the table and split my lip.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. William Joe Schwartfager says his ex-girlfriend's father, Warren Day, owes for attorney fees and harassment. Warren says after William broke up with Kathleen, he had an affair with her 16-year-old sister.
You have a daughter, sir?
Yes, I got 3 daughters.
All right. You have 2 daughters?
3.
3?
Yes.
Who's the 3rd?
My oldest daughter, she's 7, but she's not by the day.
And how old are you, 22?
That's right.
You better get a lock for it.
That's not even fixed, Alan.
William, I don't want to look at you for another second. Your case is dismissed. Mr. Day, have you gotten the satisfaction that you wanted?
Yes, ma'am.
You don't need a counterclaim, do you?
No, I don't really know.
Very good. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
It's been hard. It's been hard for me not to do something else besides go to court on it. It really has.
I was just trying to get the attorney bills that Mr. Day has racked up on my behalf, cleared up.
This man has been like a dingleberry on my butt.
It didn't destroy any credibility. It's another day.
He doesn't think about other people's feelings, how he hurt me, how he hurt her, and how he's probably going to hurt Sarah, too.
She was like a little sister to me the whole time.
You could talk the panties off a nun.
The girl that's with him right now, Sarah Buckley,
Is my best friend.
and used to live in my house as my 3rd, adopted daughter.
So he's on the 3rd one now.
Yeah.
We're actually a lot closer than we were, and we just really hate him now.
Everybody makes mistakes. Yeah, this is her freebie. If she does it again, then it's done.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Nunez versus Channing. Step forward.
Cell phone salesman Ruben Nunez is suing his ex-girlfriend, 25-year-old medical technician Tamara Channing, for crashing his SUV.
How old are you, Mr. Nunez?
32.
What do you do for a living, sir?
I'm in sales.
How long have you been working in sales?
10 years, but I've been with my current company for 7.
You have family?
Yes, I do.
What kind of family do you have?
I am a single parent of a little boy and a little girl.
They live with you?
Yes, they do.
Okay, so you're busy.
I'm currently busy. Yes, I'm always
so
busy.
you have a full-time job?
Yes.
And you take care of 2 kids?
Yes.
The reason I'm asking you these questions, sir, is I'm wondering why you're here. Because your complaint says that 2 years ago you were dating the defendant. She asked if she could borrow your car. She borrowed your car 2 years ago and had an accident. So my question is to myself, do you have nothing else to do in your life? In the 2 years that passed between the crashing of your truck that she had borrowed and now, why didn't you pursue your claim?
Well, Your Honor, she was unemployed, for one. She was going to school, and she just graduated currently in November of 2003.
Yeah?
And she barely got a full-time in February of this year.
Okay. Now, Miss Channing, you borrowed his truck. You had been driving it for a while. You crashed. You had an accident. The accident was your fault. There was some damage to the other car. The other car driver was paid with money that he initially wrote out, but you paid him back that money. That she paid you back, right?
Yes.
This money you said she didn't pay you back. That was to fix the truck. Now, this was in December of 2002
Right.
that you crashed the car. You weren't living together, were you?
No, we weren't.
But you were dating.
Right.
Now, after December of 2002, did you continue to date?
Yes.
Was your dating relationship a heavy dating relationship?
Yes,
were
it
you heavily
was.
involved?
Yes, we were. We were boyfriend and girlfriend.
Were you intimately involved?
Yes.
And when did that relationship end?
It ended in January of this year.
So between December of 2002 and January of 2004, you were together. You went on vacations together.
Right.
You slept together.
Right.
Intimately involved with each other
Right.
for all that time.
Right.
Get a life, sir. Get a life.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Listen to me. If somebody owes you money, you pursue that claim immediately. If the relationship hadn't terminated in 2004, you wouldn't be here today. Is that right?
Incorrect.
No, you would not be here today. If the relationship proceeded and you married the defendant, which I assume was your intention and her intention, if you were boyfriend and girlfriend, that it was going to go into a formalized relationship. And if that had happened, we wouldn't be here today. And the only reason you're here today, sir, is because you're annoyed with her, relationship's over. You say, now I want the money from 2 years ago when you had an accident with my car and it cost me $900 to fix it.
I'll give her the television. She could have it.
Oh, great. So the entertainment center is to be returned to her within 5 days from
Sure.
today's date. You keep the bed, sir. You're going to pay us $750 for the bed. That's all. Judgment for the plaintiff, $750 and the entertainment center.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. May be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Corey,
Yes.
it is your claim that this lady stole 4 puppies from you, 4 bull mastiff puppies.
Yes, Your Honor.
Those are puppies that grow up to be really big dogs, if my memory is correct. Is that right?
Yes.
How much do the dogs weigh when they're full grown?
My male's about 160 to 170 pounds.
Do you have a picture of them?
I do when he was a puppy.
Mrs. Bergman said she did not steal the puppies at all. You owed her the puppies because last year she bought 4 puppies from you and they died. So you owed her these dogs and she merely came and took them. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. How long have you been breeding bull mastiffs?
3 years.
Just my own curiosity, you bought 4 puppies from him last year?
Correct.
Is that correct?
I don't know, actually.
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't recognize this lady at all.
Do you recognize her?
Well, I was the one that was there when she stole them, so.
Did you have a litter of puppies last year?
Yeah, I have one every year.
But you don't recognize her from last year?
No. I've sold a lot of puppies. I've sold over 50 puppies to different people.
Okay. Don't you remember somebody buying 4 puppies at one time?
Yeah. I
Yes.
don't remember her. Sorry. Yes.
But you remember somebody last year buying 4 puppies at one time?
Yes.
And it could have been her.
Yes.
What did you buy 4 puppies last year for?
Okay, well, I went over there, Your Honor, to buy 1 puppy.
Last year?
Last year. And he said, well, I have an ad here. They were $400 a piece in this ad. This is the ad I bought them out of. They were $400 a piece at the time. I went over to his house to buy 1 puppy. He said, I will let you have 4 for $600. So I said, okay. So I wrote him a check, this check, for $600.
Let me see it, please. Well, clearly, Corey, she wrote a check out to you, which you cashed for $600 on July 11th, 2003.
It's possible.
No, I'm telling you, you did.
Okay.
That refresh your recollection?
No, it doesn't, but.
Okay. So you took 4 puppies for $600. What was your intention to do with the 4 puppies?
Well, because we had the 4 puppies, I was going to give one to my sister and keep the other 3 for our family because we have a ranch. We live on a big ranch as guard dogs.
Who changed the number of dogs here on the check?
When I was writing the check, Your Honor,
yes.
At first, he was going to sell me 3, and then I was going to get 4 because we were negotiating the price.
Now, what happened to the puppies last year when you got them home?
Well, as soon as I got home, they weren't eating, and they started having diarrhea. So the very next day, I called his mother because he didn't have the puppies. His mother had the puppies. And I said, I'm bringing these puppies back, and I want my check back. And so I took the puppies over to where I got them and demanded my check back. And he had cashed my check and would not give me my money back. And I said,
this was just a second. This was the next day?
Yes.
No, that's not true. That's not true. He did not cash the check the same day. He did not cash the check for 3 days.
Okay. Well, he told me he cashed the check
I don't care what he told you, madam. All you had to do was call the bank, and the bank would have said the check has not been cashed.
Well, I did not do that.
Well, that's unfortunate for you.
Well, he told me that. Anyway, I didn't check the bank. And he agreed. I asked him, he said he would not replace the puppies. I asked his mother, I told his mother what he'd said, and I argued with her, and she said, go make him be responsible. And
don't tell me what his mother said. Just tell me what you did. His mother's not here. That's hearsay.
Then then I went to him and I said, look, I'm not going to argue with you.
Did you take the puppies back?
Yes, I did, but they would not take them back.
Just a second. You took the puppies back to your house. After you went to his house, his mother's house, you took the puppies back to your house.
Because she begged me.
Don't tell me what she begged you. That's hearsay. You took the puppies back to your house.
That's correct.
That was on the 12th of July.
Yes.
The next day.
Yes.
All right. And after they were back in your house, what happened?
Well, we tried to give them rice and hamburger, and then I took them to the vet a couple of days later. 2 had already died.
What day did you take the puppies to the vet?
You have the checks, and you have the... It was a couple of days later I took the puppies to the vet.
On the 15th?
Yes.
Do you have a statement from the vet as to what was done?
No, I did not.
Why not? They gave you one.
I had it in a packet, and I didn't bring it.
Well, why didn't you bring it?
I don't know why.
I don't know why you didn't bring it.
I thought that check actually would be okay.
Well, that's ridiculous, madam. You were coming to court. You're supposed to bring proof. Part of your lawsuit, you have a counterclaim. Your counterclaim is for vet bills.
That's right.
Which means that I have to see the bill from the vet. And that you didn't bring with you? Did you bring your lipstick? Did you bring your mascara? That was important. You bring the vet bills if you're suing for vet bills.
Yes, ma'am.
Not the check.
Okay.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I don't want to have to give you the business in front of your children, but I don't want you to make things up as you go along, Miss Bergman. You're fabricating, and I don't want you to fabricate, especially in front of your children. Certainly not to me.
And later today,
you left. What about all the furniture in the apartment?
I left everything there because he threatened to take my son, our son.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Dog breeders Corey Evans and Justin Holtman claim Jeanette Bergman stole 4 Bull Mastiff puppies.
So the puppies died. What did you do next?
So I called Corey and I said, look, these puppies died and I want you to be responsible for these puppies. And he said, oh, I said, I want you to replace these puppies. And he said, okay, when I have another litter, you'll know. I says, okay. He says, just check the paper. I will have an ad in the paper. Then you could get your 4 puppies.
Now, what did you do when you saw the ad for the Bull Mastiff puppies this year? What did you do?
I called the ad and I said, is this Corey? He said, no, this is Corey's friend. I'm selling these puppies for him.
Justin.
That's correct.
And what did you say?
So I called him up and I said, give me directions because it's been a year and I had forgotten where Corey had lived.
Is that what she said to you?
No.
No, it's not what she said to you at all. I didn't. You know, I want to tell you something. Are these your children?
Yes, they are.
I don't want to have to give you the business in front of your children, but I don't want you to make things up as you go along, Miss Bergman. You may feel as if you have a legitimate case, but what you're doing is you're fabricating, and I don't want you to fabricate, especially in front of your children. Certainly not to me. Keep going. So?
I went over to Corey's house after he gave me directions, and I went over there and I said, I'm going to take 4 of these puppies.
You went over there. How did he get over there?
Well, I called him when I got to the house.
What did she say to you? Take your hands out of your pockets.
Basically, or she said...
look at me. Don't look down. Look.
She was coming to look at the puppies because she wanted to buy some of them.
Now, she called you when she got there. What did you say to her when she called you?
I was actually over at the courthouse paying some tickets. I told her it would probably take me about 45 minutes to get there. And I, in the first place, never told her to come over there. She showed up. I gave her directions. She wasn't supposed to show up till he got off work.
So when you got there, when you got to the house, what did you do? Just tell me step by step. You pulled up to the house. You had been to the house before. What did you do?
I told him that I was here to get 4 puppies that Corey owed me. And he handed them to me over the fence, and I put them in my van, and I said, tell him to tell Corey, thank you very much. I won't ask him to pay my vet bill.
Now, Justin, I'd like you to tell me your version of what happened when you arrived from the courthouse from paying tickets and found Miss Bergman at Corey's house.
She asked if they were pure. What else? She asked a few questions about the puppies. Yeah, I think then I took her around back, and she started picking the 4 puppies out she wanted. There was 6 there at the time. And
she said she wanted 4?
Yeah.
Did she tell you why she wanted 4?
No, I didn't ask her. She didn't say.
Okay, and then what happened?
We loaded them all up. She shut the back of her van. She went around to the driver's side of her van, sat in there, and started messing with her purse like she was going to write a check or pull some cash out or something.
No.
She asked for a pin. I turned around, started walking, and probably got 2 or 3 steps away. I heard her messing with her power locks, heard the power locks clicking, and she shuts the door and drives off and screams something when she's driving off.
Okay, now can I see the ad for the puppies, please?
Yes. I had ads in 2 or 3 different papers.
Where are the puppies now, Miss Bergman?
They're in my yard.
What was the date that you took the puppies?
It was the...
What was the date you took the puppies?
April 1st. I thought it was a sick joke when he called me at work.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today...
You've had a marriage, a divorce, a rekindling, another baby, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then you say, well, I'm going to give you an engagement ring. It doesn't work that way, sir.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Dog breeders Corey Evans and Justin Holtman claim Jeanette Bergman stole 4 Bull Mastiff puppies.
All right, so I have to make a judgment as to whose story sounds more logical and what story that I'm hearing sounds like a fantasy. And quite frankly, Miss Bergman, your story sounds like a fantasy to me. You did, in fact, read the paper, and you did, in fact, see that somebody was selling Bull Mastiffs. You called and you said, is Corey selling them? And Justin said, no, I'm selling them for Corey. You got the address, so you knew it was the same place. And you resorted to self-help, which means you went over there and you tricked him. Because there's no way in the world that this young man would say, oh, you say that he owes you 4 puppies? Here are 4 puppies. Put them in your car. Goodbye. No way he's going to do that. So you went there and you said, I'm here to buy 4 puppies. I want that one and that one and that one and that one and that one. I put them in my truck. You asked him for a pen. You locked the doors. You shouted, now I got what I wanted. And you probably got an extra couple of puppies for your aggravation and maybe for your vet bill. Because I'm not so sure that you brought 4 home last year. Anyway, the puppies were for sale for $500 a piece. By your own acknowledgement, you took 4 puppies. That's $2,000. That's what he's going to get, and your counterclaim is dismissed. That's all. Step out.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I must have got sick while she had them, because they weren't sick when I had them.
Corey knows he owed me 4 puppies and chose not to give them to me because he's the kind of person that he is.
She's a little nutty. That's basically the whole deal there. I mean,
that's okay because we're Christians and we know what's right.
I've never had anybody bring a puppy back to me.
I had the check that he cashed stating that he really did know me. He cashed my check.
Judge realized she's crazy and stole stuff from me and gave me my money.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of De La Vega versus De La Vega, step forward, please.
State worker Anna De La Vega is suing her ex-husband, mailman Patrick De La Vega, for the return of a dresser and a ring. Patrick says the dresser was a gift and the ring was for their engagement.
Mrs. De La Vega, is this your son?
Yes, he is.
How old is he?
17.
Your son's name is?
Randall.
Does Randall have a relationship with his father?
No, he does not.
So he is not his father?
He is not his father.
Okay. Good. I just wanted to make sure, because I usually don't like children in here, to hear it if parents are squabbling. You and Mr. De La Vega were married and then divorced, and several years later got back together again, according to your complaint, and decided to try your relationship out again, and he moved into your home. That didn't work out, and it is your claim that he took from you when he moved out some furniture that belonged to you, that he refuses to return, as well as a ring that he had purchased for you as a gift. Mr. De La Vega says that the furniture that he took was furniture that you left in the apartment, just a dresser, and that the ring was an engagement ring, and therefore it was his, and he took it. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When were you divorced?
1986, September.
And when did you get back together again?
September 25th, 1998, he showed up on my doorstep with his clothes.
Okay, and you hadn't seen him in all that time?
We had been talking since December of 1997.
And when did you separate?
March 17th, 2003.
Tell me about this piece of furniture. What is it?
It was a chest of drawers, cherry wood, that I bought on sale at Montgomery Ward's. And
when did you buy it?
In 2000.
Okay, and how much did you pay for it?
I'm estimating the value of $300 because I don't actually have the receipt. I couldn't find the receipt.
Did he leave or did you leave?
I left because we had been to counseling in 2002 and it had
Didn't
broken
work
down.
out. So March 2003
And
you
I
left.
had asked him to leave and he would not.
So you left. What about all the furniture in the apartment?
I left everything there because he threatened to take my son, our son.
Okay, so you left everything there and you never retrieved it?
I came back, yes, a couple of days later with a moving van.
Okay, because I thought you were taking all the stuff. So you came back with a moving van. Was he home?
Yes, he was, actually.
And you took all the furniture. Tell me what furniture you took.
I took major pieces of furniture.
And the only thing that you left that you now say you want is the chest of drawers. Now tell me about this ring.
My ex-husband was never really good at buying me gifts for Christmas, for birthdays. It was extremely rare that he would even remember to buy me a card. So in July of 2001, he was trying to make it up to me. So he asked me what I wanted. I said, I want a nice ring. So we went looking. He said, okay, you pick out whatever you want, and I'll pay for it.
You have it?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see it, please.
And I didn't initially know that the ring was gone. He told me by
Just a second. When I didn't ask you any questions. July of 2001. And tell me, did you buy this ring with him, or did he surprise you with it?
No, we went together shopping because he wanted me to pick out whatever it was that I wanted.
Okay, now in July of 2001, is that a birthday? Is that
my birthday is in July 7th, and the ring was purchased July 8th. And I do have
the receipt.
I have the receipt.
I'd like to see it. Well, it was certainly purchased around her birthday, sir, right?
Fine, yes.
Good. Now, Mr. De La Vega, when for the first time between July 2001 and March of 2003 did you start to plan a wedding?
We didn't. We just talked about it. We mentioned it and stuff like that. In fact, we were looking for a home.
Okay. What else did you buy for her between July of 2001 and March of 2003?
Oh, nothing. Gifts and stuff like that.
Well, that's what I'm asking. You said gift, but
yeah,
what did you buy her?
I gave her money and paid for stuff. I can't remember what I bought her, but...
Nothing.
Give her ring back. Mr. De La Vega, let me explain something to you, sir. An engagement ring is not given, in my judgment, Mr. De La Vega, when you've had a smorgasbord of emotions. You've had a marriage, a divorce, a rekindling, another baby, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You've had a birthday, you've had an anniversary, and then you say, well, I'm going to give you an engagement ring. After I've known you for 25 years.
No,
do you understand, Mr. De La Vega?
Yes, well, we're divorced.
It doesn't work that way, sir. It doesn't work that way. You bought the ring, and if it's the only thing that you can remember having bought for your former wife in 25 years, consider it, sir, a very small token. Now, Mrs. De La Vega, I'm going to get to the rest of your complaint. The rest of your complaint is for an old 4-year-old dresser that you haven't had in your possession for over a year, that you left in the apartment that you shared with him.
Yes.
Forget it.
Thank
Do
you.
you understand?
Okay.
Get it. You got the ring? Be a happy girl.
I'm happy.
Good. He says goodbye. I say goodbye. Be
God
well.
bless.
Enjoy. God bless.
Tozan versus Griffin. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have seats.
Miss Tozan, who is this?
This is my fiance.
And who is this?
My husband.
The defendant is your mother-in-law.
Ex-mother-in-law.
The mother of your former husband.
Right.
And you have children with your former husband. How many
Right.
children do you have?
One.
Your mother-in-law had been very involved with your child. It's a girl?
Yes, ma'am.
And as a matter of fact, according to what I've read in her answer, your daughter lived with her for a period of time. Is that right?
That's correct.
How old is your daughter now?
She'll be 11.
And for how long did she live with Miss Griffin?
I'd say for a period of 6 to 8 months.
Is that right?
Almost a year.
And when was that?
May of 95 till April of 96.
Was that a court-ordered arrangement?
Yes, it was.
Because I assume your son and daughter-in-law had some problems that had to be resolved.
Yes, ma'am, right.
And you have had and enjoyed visitation with your granddaughter, regular weekend visitation. I don't know if it's every other week or once a month.
Once a month.
Once a month. Since she went back to her mother. So far, right?
Right. Yes, ma'am.
But then some problems arose. Your complaint is that your former mother-in-law called Child Protective Services, as well as the police, and made certain allegations against you, and you want to be compensated because you claimed those allegations were false. She knew that they were false, and she had no basis to make the calls to Child Protective Services. That's what your lawsuit is about.
Yes.
And Ms. Griffin said that she did have concern for her granddaughter, which is why she placed the calls, and she is counterclaiming for the emotional distress that she suffered as a result of the fact that you no longer let her see her granddaughter. I don't know if I'm going to even reach that because that should be the subject of a court proceeding. You were given court-ordered visitation, Mrs. Griffin, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you go back to court to enforce your visitation?
Not yet.
Well, then I'm not going to entertain your counterclaim because the court may, in fact, decide that they're going to vacate the order. I hope not. Maybe we can deal with it today so that that won't be necessary. So without getting too emotional, I want you to tell me, Ms. Griffin, since you acknowledge that you called Child Protective Services, what caused you to do that?
I can't do it without being emotional.
Okay.
The day on July 11th, Devin,
Take a breath for a minute.
while she was at our house.
Let me ask you some questions, and maybe you can compose yourself, all right? Was July 11th the day that you say this happened? Was this during a weekend visitation that you had with her? How did she come to be at your house?
This is how it started. Devin never gets to do anything because her mother can't afford it. So we decided maybe she needed a break, and we offered to pay for a day camp because her cousin was going, and they're close.
So far, is that correct, Ms. Tarzan?
Yes, ma'am.
Good.
So we asked Robin if it was okay with her, and we would pay for it. But she'd have to come stay at the house for the summer. Well, it's 6 weeks. It was 6 weeks of camp. And I was supposed to get her 4 weeks in the summer anyway. Okay, finally she said yes, she can go. So that's how she was at the house. Well, my son had called. Now, he told me all his legal stuff was taken care of, but...
Your son, her former husband.
Right. And, you know, why should I not believe it, you know? Although I shouldn't have, but I did. And anyway, he called and he said they had an Akita that died, and we had an Akita I wanted to get rid of. Too big, too strong for me. So he said, Mama, we'll take her. I said, okay. So Devin was at the house, and she hadn't seen her dad but 3 times in 7 years. And she loves her dad. Her mama can't change that. She asked us if she could go. Well, we called Robin. David asked Robin. He said, here's the deal. We're going for the day. We're not going to their place. We're not spending the night or nothing. We're just bringing the dog. Is it okay with you if Devin goes with us? She said, yeah, I guess it'll be okay. Well, the next night she calls. She says, she can't go unless I have a phone number and address. She said the only reason why she wanted it was because of emergencies. Well, she promised Devin, because Devin asked her, Mama, are you going to try and do anything about Daddy? She says, no, Devin, I'm not. And she promised her she wasn't going to use the information for anything, just in case there's an emergency
So
and
you
she
gave
needed
her
to
the
reach us.
information?
Gave her the information. The next morning she calls me, cussing 90 to nothing, cussing me out. Why don't you do some checking into background since you like to check into background so much? I said, what are you talking about? She says, Kirk still got a warrant against him. I said, oh, really? I said, well, I'll check into it. Well, isn't his girlfriend's ex-husband this? I said, no, it's not. That's not her name. Well, come to find out, the phone they had called from, she had Devin give her the name of the person that was on the caller ID. So I said, well, I'll check into it. And she said, well, I'm coming to pick her up at 4 o'clock today when she gets out of camp. I said, okay, fine, whatever.
Okay, so she wasn't going to let her go.
Right. So Devin, of course, broke down. We went into my room, and we were watching TV, and I was holding her because she was crying so hard. She was so upset. She goes, my mama lied to me again. I said, baby, you have to understand, your mama's worried. I said, you know, because your dad is still got a warrant against him. I said, he lied to us again. And I called him and told him she was not coming.
What's the warrant for, Miss Griffin?
Theft, oil fields theft. So I said, baby, I said, you're going to have to go. I said, Mama's coming to get you. I don't want to go. And she proceeded to tell us, you know, things like, Mama's been smoking, they've been smoking drugs at the house. And I said, baby, how do you know that? Have you seen it? She goes, Grandma, I know the difference between cigarette smoke. I've been around it all my life and other smoke. Okay. So I said, okay. I said, baby, you have to go.
You have to go home.
You have to go home.
So I still haven't
So
heard.
she says she came twice and knocked on the door. Well, I didn't hear because we had the fan on, the TV on, and Devin was crying, and I'm holding her, and I didn't hear her knocking. Well, I finally got Devin calmed down, and I walked out, and I heard the door. I opened the door, and she said, where have you been? I said, right here.
Okay.
So I said, why don't you sit down, and let's talk about how Devin's feeling. She said, what do you mean? I said, well, she's upset because she feels like that you lied to her again. Too bad. She'll just have to get over it. She started cussing at me, yelling at me, calling me every name in the book. Devin got scared. Robin says, get your effing out here now.
Okay.
She opened the door, screamed at her mother, shocked me. True. She said, I'm not going with you. And I went, I mean, she just totally shocked me. And then she goes, Grandma, telephone. And then she ran back in the room and slammed the door. I'm lost. I don't know what's going on. She takes off out the door to go call the police. I'm going to get the police to get my daughter. She didn't have to do that. Devin called the police before she left out the door because of Robin cussing and screaming and hollering at me. So the police called. I said, this is Mrs. Griffin. He goes, well, we got a call from there. And I said, well, my ex-daughter-in-law just left to go call you. I said, but... So I said, Devin, did you call the police? She said, yes, I did, Grandma. I said, oh, God.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Well, stability is the most important thing in a child. Is this your first fiance since your divorce?
Yes. She's been married since my son.
Oh.
She's got 4 kids, 2 illegitimate, all 4 different fathers.
And later today,
you're entitled to wake up one morning, Mr. Fisher, and say, I think I've made a mistake. I don't think Beth and I are right for each other. What you're not entitled to do is to be a sleazebag.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Robin Tozen says her ex-mother-in-law, Pamela Griffin, falsely accused her of neglecting her daughter.
When and why did you call Child Protective Services, Ms. Griffin?
Okay, because when she left, her mama sent her back in to get everything that she had at my house because she was never coming back again.
Okay.
She came in and she was crying and she said, Grandma, I have to get everything that I have here because Mama said I'm not coming back again.
Okay.
And then she looked at me and she goes, you know what's going to happen to me when I get home, don't you? And then she grabbed me and started hugging me.
That's why you called Child
That's why I called Child. No. Okay. First of all, I didn't call the police that night. I was so distraught, my husband called. Well, CPS in St. Martin Parish is not open 24-hour, and they weren't. This was a Friday night. So my husband said, I'm going to call because of what Devin said.
Fine. Got it. Now, Ms. Towson, I have just a couple of questions for you. Okay. I take everything that Ms. Griffin says with a grain of salt. Generally, that's what happened. Generally, her son, who is clearly a deadbeat father who has not enjoyed a consistent relationship with his child because he's in and out of trouble and he can't get his act straight. He's probably got a terrible lifestyle. Despite all of that, he's the one you chose to father this child, and if the child has an attachment to him, because every child likes to have a father, that's your fault. You picked him.
Right.
However, I want to know whether at some point you sent the child back into the house to get all of her things because you said to her, you're not going back to Grandma's.
No, that's not what I said.
What did you say?
She only came out with like a plastic bag and a small duffel bag. And upon her staying with her grandmother, I went and bought her several new outfits. That's what I sent her back in there for.
Now, she was still going to camp on July 11th, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Did she continue to go to camp after she came home?
No, she did not.
Why not?
That was her choice because we started adding on to where we live.
Well, if she would have stayed with her grandmother, she would have continued to go to camp. That was your arrangement.
Right.
So you chose not to send her back to her grandmother.
She chose not to go back to her
I'm not sure that that's true. Who are you?
I'm Kerry Como, a witness.
A witness to what?
I just wanted to say that Devin was supposed to spend the weekends with us. She was only supposed to go for the week to camp, and on the weekends come home.
Let me explain something to you. You are a stranger to this. This has nothing to do with you. She is the only constant that this child has known since she's born. Not her father, and for a period of time, not even her mother. The only one who has been there all the time is her grandmother. We understand each other?
Mm-hmm. Yes?
Good. That would be a fair statement, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Ms. Griffin, you're in a difficult position. You were a parent for a short period of time to this child, but you're no longer a parent, you're her grandmother. And you probably feel as if you can do a better job.
I didn't say that.
Listen to me. You probably think you could do a better job, and it's very possible you could do a better job.
Well, she'd have more stability.
Right. Well, stability is the most important thing in a child. Is this your first fiancé since your divorce?
Yes.
She's been married since my son.
Oh.
She's got 4 kids, 2
Yes, I was
illegitimate,
married.
all
Okay,
4 different
just
fathers.
a second. How old are your other children?
6, 2, and 16 months.
And how many people fathered those 3 children?
3.
3 different people?
Mm-hmm.
Then, absolutely right, Miss Griffin. Your granddaughter would have more stability if she lived with you. Unfortunately, children don't get the opportunity of picking their parents. Do you think you're a good mother?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Well, I'm going to tell you what a good mother does. A good mother does what she thinks is best for her children. Not best for you, but best for her children. And your 11-year-old daughter needs to spend time with her grandmother. It's very wrong of you and very selfish of you not to allow and encourage your granddaughter to continue to see her grandma. It's wrong. And you've made a lot of mistakes in your life. I mean, I can tell that from your history.
I agree.
And the one smart thing that you did was to have her son as the father of one of your children because she's a stand-up person, right? It's the wrong thing. In any event, you have no basis to sue her for calling the police. You have no basis to sue her for calling Child Protective Services. Your mother-in-law has seen, based upon what you told me about yourself, numerous instances of what she might perceive as neglect. Certainly, 3 children with 3 different men floating in and out of the house is evidence enough of neglect for me, and I'm a grandma. She didn't call Child Protective Services then. She didn't try to get custody away from you then. The reason she called Child Protective Services was because the child made statements to her and she feared for her safety. And I believe probably legitimately. So your lawsuit is dismissed, as is your counterclaim. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She hates Devin's father so bad, so much, that she'll try and do everything she can to hurt him.
She thought I was an unfit mother. She would have called 8 years ago. She was mad, and she did it out of spite.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Toda versus Fisher. Step forward, please.
Tammy and Stephen Toda are suing their daughter's ex-fiancé, 21-year-old security guard Alan Fisher, for half the cost of a wedding that never happened.
Mr. Fisher, who is this person?
My wife,
Is there any reason that she's here?
because I wanted her to be with me.
Wanted to be with you.
Yeah.
Mr. and Mrs. Toda, this is your daughter, I assume. Your daughter and the defendant were engaged to be married. And according to your complaint, you secured a place and invited 200 guests. And the defendant came to you just shortly before the wedding and said he didn't want to get married.
Right.
You're not looking for that money from Mr. Fisher. You're just looking for certain expenses, a couple of $100, really because you're angry.
Yes.
When was the wedding supposed to take place?
June 21st.
Is that correct so far, Mr. Fisher?
Yes.
When did you marry your wife?
September 4th.
When did you meet her?
I've known her for 4 years.
When did you start seeing her romantically?
We've been seeing each other on and off for like 3 years.
Did Miss Toda know about that?
Nope.
Well, that wasn't fair, was it?
Not really.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Tammy and Stephen Toda claim their daughter's ex-fiancé, Alan Fisher, called off the wedding at the last second.
I would ordinarily say to Mr. and Mrs. Toda, good riddance to him.
Yes.
He is dishonest, dishonorable, sleazy, and your daughter is better off without him.
Yes, she is.
But I'm not prepared at this point to make it so easy for Mr. Fisher. He's entitled to change his mind about getting married. You are entitled to that, Mr. Fisher. You're entitled to wake up one morning, Mr. Fisher, and say, I think I've made a mistake. I don't think that, what's your first name? Beth?
Beth.
I don't think Beth and I are right for each other. We've been together a long time, but I don't think we're right for each other. And before I make a big mistake, for both of us, I have to call off the wedding. You're entitled to do that, right?
Yes.
Right?
Right.
What you're not entitled to do is to be a sleazebag and to have somebody else on the side for years while these people are in good faith planning a wedding and spending money that you're involved with. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
That's almost like fraud. Wouldn't you say so?
No.
What would you say?
Things wasn't working out, and she knew that. We fought a lot. I told her that I wasn't ready.
You had somebody else, sir.
Yes, I did.
You didn't tell her that.
She knew.
She did. You just told me 2 seconds ago that she didn't know.
She had to have known. How can you not?
Is what you're telling me that Beth knew that you had a relation? What's your first name?
Candy.
That Beth knew that you had a relationship with Candy.
She had to have.
What information that you imparted to her would lead her to suspect that you were intimate with someone else? Tell me.
I mean, we never spent time together, really. We didn't talk or nothing. She had to have known.
You mean?
Always come up with excuses of why I couldn't come see her and that.
So what you're telling me is, I'm going to enjoy this. I this was just cut and dry,
Yeah,
but
when
you
you
know.
live with
Shh, quiet. This is going to be better than your $200. I want you to trust me on this one. You mean you would make up excuses to her why you couldn't see her? Is that what you just said to me?
Yes, ma'am.
Give me an excuse.
She wanted me to come see her. I told her I had to work.
And when you said, I have to work, you had a job. When you
Right.
told her I have to work, you had a job at the time.
Right.
So what was it that you said that would lead her to suspect that you were lying?
Nothing, really. Just told her that I had to work.
Mr. and Mrs. Toda, you're not entitled to any money from him. You planned this wedding. He was not to participate in the cost of the wedding. So there's no basis for your lawsuit. But I want you to feel good about this, Beth, because you found out in time that the man that you were going to invest your life with had a bad character. Now, you can change a lot of things in this world. You can change your nose, you can change your hairstyle, you can change your hair color. The one thing that you can't change is if you have a bad character. He and Candy can deal with his character. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm going to look at you for a second. Do you see how easily he said he lied to Beth?
Yes.
I'd watch my back if I were you. Your case is dismissed, that's all.
Parties are calendar in the matter of Perry versus Carlton. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, sir.
Mr. Perry, Miss Carlton, according to you, caused an accident.
That's correct, Your
Caused
Honor.
an accident causing damage to your car and injury to you.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Miss Carlton says that there was a merge, you wouldn't let her in, and once she got in, you accelerated. So the accident was your fault. You really weren't injured at all. You just behaved very badly. So you want to tell me first when this happened?
This occurred on July 26th of 2004, Your Honor.
That's your diagram. I'd like you to show me your car.
My car would be back here, Your Honor.
The red.
The defendant would be the blue car here.
So she was merging in behind a truck and in front of you.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Tell me what happened.
Well, we were proceeding westbound on Main Street, and this lane where you see the defendant is actually not a lane. It is a lane that has been merged into a right turn lane. What happened was she came from about 4 cars back. She decided to come up.
4 cars back, so she was behind
the
purple car.
She was actually in the left-hand lane about 4 cars back.
And how do you know that?
I saw her in my right rear view mirror.
So she came out of that lane, the same lane that you were in.
That's correct, Your Honor. Came down this center lane, which is blocked off because of construction, ran over this cone here, actually, behind this truck. We were moving at approximately 15 to 20 miles an hour. She then cut in very sharply behind the truck right in front of me, which was only about 5 feet distance. At that point in time, I had no options. I didn't have any reaction time. I ran over her rear end, which caused my right front end to go up over her rear end, causing my car to tilt to the left and then bounce back down.
What kind of car were you driving?
I'm driving a Jeep Cherokee, Your Honor.
And Miss Carlton?
Miss Carlton was driving a little Echo, Toyota Echo.
So your car actually went up on top of hers?
It actually went up on her wheel and came back down, Your Honor.
The whole back of the car?
No,
or
on her left rear quarter panel, where her tire is. It actually went up over it. There were scuff marks on her left rear quarter panel from my tire.
So the side?
Yes.
Of her car?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
At that point, I was thrown over to the side. When the car came back, I jammed my head on the door jamb. At that point, I honked and started honking vigorously. She stuck her hand out the window and waved at me and took off.
Where did she take off?
She took off into this left-hand lane, which proceeded left. At that point, there's an overpass at that point that goes over the freeway. On the other side of the overpass, there's a baker's restaurant. In that restaurant, she finally pulled into the restaurant. I pulled in, blocked her from turning out towards the left to get back on another street. And at that point, she stopped, exited her car, very profoundly said, "What are you doing?" I signaled, "What the are you doing?" And at that point, I asked her for her driver's license, her registration, and proof of insurance. She said, "I'm not giving you anything." At that point, she took a young child, it appeared to be a young male, out of the back seat of the car.
Is that what she said? I'm not giving you anything?
I'm not giving you anything. And she took this young male, which had not been seatbelted in. There was no car seat in that car. She
How
took
old
him
was
into
the child?
About 4 or 5 years old, Your Honor.
Okay.
She took him into the restaurant, was in there for about 10 minutes. In the meantime, I'm calling the police, reporting what was going on. She comes back out of the restaurant with food and the child. About 10 minutes later, a gentleman shows up, identifies himself as her husband, and proceeds to start cussing at me and yelling at me, and tells me that he's going to kick my and take care of me. And at that point in time, I walked away from them, again calling the police, telling them that this had escalated into an adversary situation and I needed help. We waited for about another 10 to 15 minutes. He talked with the defendant got in her car, and they drove away.
And you got there?
The only thing I was able to get was the license plate off of her car.
So that's how you tracked it down?
I attempted to track it through the DMV, who, through multiple things, they decide you can't do that. They would notify her to notify me, which she had already decided not to give me that information.
Now, according to your complaint, sir, you were injured. I'd like you to tell me how you were injured.
I was having a lot of neck pain. I was having severe headaches. I went to see Dr. Recognized that this was a whiplash injury.
Listen to me. What kind of work do you do, sir?
I'm a chiropractor, Your Honor.
Okay, and who's Dr.?
Dr. is a chiropractor.
A colleague of yours?
Yes.
Okay. How many days were you out of work, sir, after the 26th?
I was not out of work, Your Honor.
Good. How much damage did you have done to your car?
About $100 worth of damage.
Do you have?
I have the estimates of the damages to my car, Your Honor.
Okay.
Exhibit 3.
Okay. May I see it, please?
Exhibit 3.
Exhibit 3. So this whole thing was $62.31. That was the damage to your car?
The end caps on my bumper and the stabilizer, Your Honor, yes.
Is there anything else other than Exhibit 3?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. You work 5 days a week, sir?
I work 6 days a week, Your Honor.
Okay. And you didn't miss any work?
I didn't miss any work, but I did
Good.
work in pain.
I'm sure your doctor friend was able to help you.
Yes. Yes, very definitely.
Good.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Did you ask the owner of the restaurant if you could use the phone to call the police?
No.
And if somebody is attacking you, you do that, right?
Right. And I did.
And you didn't. You got hamburger and fries.
No, I didn't.
And later today,
How much was the bail?
$550. I said, can you come and pay it, and I'll pay you at least half of it that day.
You just told me that you had the money. All you had to do
I
was
had
be
half
able to.
of the money.
I'm speaking.
Sorry.
Remember what I said to you before? If you tell the truth, you don't have to have a good memory.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Dr. Richard Perry claims he was injured due to a car accident caused by Felissa Carlton. Felissa says Richard is a hothead.
All right, Miss Carlton, I want you to tell me what happened, madam.
I proceeded to merge onto the left lane, and I looked over my shoulder. There was plenty of room, so I decided to keep going. And as I was proceeding, I heard an acceleration, and then I felt a slight bump. It didn't seem bad, so that's why I was like, because I was trying to say, it's okay, don't worry about it. But he honked, and he was raging, and so I didn't pull over right away until I got into Baker's, because there was no way I could pull over. We were going over the pass. So when I pulled over, I'm sorry, but he's the one who asked, what the F do you think you're doing? I tried to talk to him. I tried to calm him down. I said, my kids are in the car. And he says, I don't give an F. Who's in the car with you? And I couldn't calm him down. I couldn't talk to him. I couldn't give him any information.
Did he ask you for your license, registration, and insurance?
No, ma'am.
He did not?
No.
That would be odd.
I couldn't talk to him.
No. Miss Carlton, I don't believe that.
I'm sorry.
I don't believe that. All right, sir. You want to step up?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Your wife called you and said she had been in an accident?
Yes, Your Honor.
Were those her exact words?
Well, what happened when she called me, she told me that she was just in an accident, and while she's talking to me, I heard the plaintiff cussing in the background, yelling at my wife, and I tried to get her, explain to me what happened, and she's trying to tell him to calm down, and so she could talk to me. And she said he's acting like a child. He won't exchange information. And I have the kids with me, so I immediately left work and I went to see what was going on.
So why didn't you give him a license, registration, and insurance?
I asked him. I said, "Well, is there anything you'd like to tell me that you were telling my wife?" And he said, "Yeah." He said, "You're an idiot." Well, at that point, I told him in not so many nice.
Why didn't you just give him your license, registration, and insurance?
Because my wife had told me she had already tried that, and he was not cooperating.
Well, why didn't you try it, sir?
Well, at that point, I was there to take care of my wife, who was being attacked by an angry man.
He wasn't attacking her when you got there, was he?
He was on the phone when I heard him.
He was not attacking her when you got there, was he?
That's right. No, he was not.
And she had already been in the restaurant with your son.
Right.
Is that right? Gotten food, right?
Yes.
And when you went into the restaurant and you got the food, did you ask the owner of the restaurant if you could use the phone to call the police?
No.
And if somebody is attacking you, if somebody is acting like a lunatic, you do that, right? You call the police and you say, somebody is out there, I'm afraid, right?
Right. And I did.
And you didn't. You got hamburger and fries.
No, I didn't.
Now, you came outside before your husband arrived, correct?
Right.
Right. So if you're really afraid of somebody, if they're behaving like a lunatic, you stay inside the restaurant until either the police arrived, who you didn't call, or your husband arrives. That's just common sense. So I don't believe that you were frightened.
Okay.
I also think, Mr. Perry, that you overreacted. I don't think you make a big deal about something if you have a fender bender. You had a fender bender that cost you $62.31, not $5,000.
The medical expenses are what cost the most. There's about $4,000 in medical expenses, Your Honor.
As far as I'm concerned, Dr. Perry, if you are in so much pain that you have $4,000 worth of medical expenses, you miss 1 day of work.
Unfortunately,
Dr. Perry,
Your Honor,
you know where I'm going
my patients don't quite get to that point.
Listen, Dr. Perry, it's not a question of your patients not getting to that point. If you have $4,000 worth of medical expenses, you can't work, at least for 1 day. So I think that your medical expenses and your pain and suffering are a little bit of who shot John. But you are entitled to the amount of money to have your car fixed. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $62.31. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I wasn't debilitated to the fact that I could not work.
If he's injured, he's injured.
It was debilitation to the fact that I was suffering pain.
I can't say. I don't have his body.
I think he got what he deserved.
She's Judge Judy. She did her job.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Vargo versus Beck. Step forward, please.
Plaintiffs Helga Vargo and her ex-husband, Robert, are suing their former friend, 25-year-old nursing assistant Billy Joe Beck, for the cost of bail when Billy Joe was arrested for outstanding warrants.
Miss Vargo, who's this?
This is my ex-husband.
And this used to be a friend of yours, I gather.
Yes.
And according to your complaint, she called you hysterical one day, that she had been arrested and she needed you to help her out with some bail money.
Yes.
You did, and she didn't pay you back.
Right.
And Miss Beck says, well, she paid you back some and the rest was a gift. That's your defense.
Right.
What were you arrested for, Miss Beck?
I went to traffic court and I had to pay fines, and I paid partial, and I was supposed to pay the rest back, but I thought I had paid it all off, and I didn't know I got a letter in the mail at my grandmother's house. She had thrown it away, so I never knew that I had a remaining amount, so they put a warrant on my driver's license, and that's why I ended up in jail.
When were you summoned and told to pay fines? In what year?
It was back in 2002.
For what?
Traffic violations.
What kind
Speeding.
of... Speeding. How many times were you caught speeding?
Twice.
Okay, and how much were the fines that the judge imposed?
Total, it came to $550.
How much of the $550 did you pay?
$350 before I moved.
So you knew you had $200 left to pay?
Yeah, I think I did. Yes, I did.
See how easy it is?
Yeah.
There's an old adage. Do you have parents, grandparents?
Yeah.
They'll tell you something, and it's a very good thing to live by. If you tell the truth, you don't have to have a good memory.
Right.
Now, did you expect the court in Ohio to send you a second or third invitation to pay the other $200?
I was supposed to get another letter to appear back in court, and I never
For what?
got it. To pay back the rest, because I was...
So you expected another invitation.
Right.
You expected
I
them
was supposed to get another
re-invite you to come in.
I guess you could say that.
Good. So now you're arrested, and you were stopped for something, I assume, which is how they...
No, I was across the street where my nursing home is, a convenience store, and the cop had pulled in, ran my plate, and when I was coming back, he pulled us over in the parking lot.
Why would a cop just run your plate?
I asked him that.
And he said,
being 2 o'clock in the morning, normally people that are at a convenience store are there to rob them. I'm like, I'm in my scrubs. I'm not going to rob anybody. You see me come back to work. And he's like, that don't make a difference.
So he ran your plate and found that there was a warrant for you.
Correct.
How much was the bail?
Total with the warrant fee and everything, it came back to $550.
So you called Miss Vargo.
Right, because they wouldn't let me leave to go get the money to pay them.
Sounds right to me. So that suggests to me that if they allowed you to leave, you had the money.
Right.
Is that what you're telling me?
I had the means to go get it, but they wouldn't let me leave to go get it, to bring it back.
What kind of means did you have, Miss Beck, to go get it?
Check cashing.
So you could have gotten that quickly?
Yeah.
Good. So then you called Miss Vargo, and you must have said to her...
I asked her, I said, they're not going to let me leave until I pay this off. I said, can you come and pay it, and I'll pay you at least half of it that day. I actually paid her the next day. And I said, I'm not going to be able to pay you the rest because the money that I'm getting it from is a check cashing place, so I won't be able to pay you back the rest. And she said that was fine.
You just told me that you had the money. All you had to do was be able to...
money.
I'm speaking.
Sorry.
Remember what I said to you before? If you tell the truth, you don't have to have a good memory. You just told me you had the money to pay the $550, but they wouldn't let you leave.
Right.
Then you called her and you told her a lie. You said, I'll be able to only pay you half.
I wouldn't have been paid the court all of it. I would have been able to pay them half that day, and then...
They don't want half. They don't trust you.
I know. That's why I couldn't pay it.
All right. Now that I've tortured her sufficiently to satisfy me, Ms. Vargo, you allowed her to write out this $550 on a credit card, and the credit card, unfortunately, belonged to your ex-husband.
To both of us. It was a joint account.
But he started to get the bills.
Right.
Which made you very unhappy.
Yes.
You have a copy of the bill?
Yes, I do.
Let me see.
It's a copy of the bill and what it's now accrued to with interest and late charges.
Okay. Now, do you have a check? You say you gave her some money?
Right.
Can I see the check where you gave her some money?
I have the whole thing from the check cashing place.
She give you a check for $300?
No. I gave her cash, because they cashed the check right there in the check cashing office.
When did you give her cash?
The next day, because I couldn't get it that day because the place had already closed, so that next day I went and got it, and I gave it to her as soon as her daughter came home from school. I gave her $300 on the first, and then 2 weeks later gave her $50.
You have a copy of that money?
No, because that was an extra $50 from my paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think I'd have to get a receipt from her, but I guess I should have.
All right. Did you get the bill, sir, right away from...
No, I knew nothing of this until September. This happened in March. I just found out about it in September. And that's
How
when
did you find out about it?
My ex-wife finally told me. Finally.
She got the $300. I don't know about the 50, but I know she got the 300 that she didn't tell you about.
Okay.
She figured she was going to stiff you, or that maybe it would just go away. But she got the $300. still have a balance of $352 that's left, which, Miss Beck, you say was a gift. Is that right?
Yes, because I told
Well,
her.
explain to me why Miss Vargo would make a gift to you of the rest of your bail.
I asked her from the beginning. I said I'd be able to pay you half, but the rest I'm not going to be able to come up with because you know I don't make that much money because she was working with me at the time. She said that's fine. Then she started, like, a month later, she got fired from our work, and that's when she started calling me and bugging me for the money.
You know, it's so difficult when both people are not telling me the truth to have to sort out who's the biggest liar. It's really so hard to figure out who's the biggest liar is. The only one I know who isn't lying is him. Miss Beck, there isn't a reason for Miss Vargo to make you a gift of this money. You have a history, based upon your own statements, of trying to squirrel out of your responsibility. You tried to do it with the court. You tried to do it with her. In any event, I believe that you gave her back $300. You still owe $352.
Maker. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Mr. Bolden, the defendant was your girlfriend at one time.
Yes.
About 9 years ago.
Yes.
And you have a child together, a boy. You have been legally declared the father of that child. Is that
Yes.
right? In a court.
Yes.
You had taken a paternity test when he was born, and the paternity test established that you are, in fact, the child's father.
Right.
Recently, you began to have certain reservations about that because you say he doesn't look like you.
Right.
So you wanted to have another paternity test.
Yes.
According to you, Ms. Maker agreed to take another paternity test. You made the arrangements, and she didn't show up, so you want to be reimbursed for the test. Ms. Maker said, I never agreed to take another paternity test. My son is 9 years old. He doesn't have a relationship with his father. His father is really losing out. She doesn't have to be told twice that you're the child's father. You are his father. That's what the case is about. You want the money back that you put down for the paternity test, for the second test, which is $630. So before we move on, Mr. Bolden, who is this?
That's my girlfriend.
What possible information could she have with regard to this case?
Well, she's just here to back me up, saying that, I mean, I have papers right here saying where she signed to take this paternity test.
So what evidence?
She's just here with me really for support.
That's very stupid on your part to bring her here for no reason. I'm just telling you. It's just, she's just an irritant.
Well, I'm here.
Mr. Bolden, so let's move back. Can I see the results of the first paternity test that you took? The bloods were drawn on both of you on the same date. Were you present together when the bloods were drawn?
Yes.
And the child's blood was taken the same time?
Yes.
And according to this paternity test, sir, there is a 99.85 probability that you are the father of this child.
Your Honor, where we're from, I mean, I've been hearing reports that, I mean, it's been tampering with tests, so I figured I'd take another chance with it. You know what I mean?
Waited 8 years.
Just a second.
8 years.
The defendant, she didn't tell me she was pregnant until she was 8 months along.
You're lying.
No.
Listen to me. I don't want to hear that.
Well, he's telling a lie.
Listen to me. Listen to me, Mr. Bolden. You may, and I assume that you don't have a relationship with this boy. Is that right?
No, he doesn't.
No. That's why I want to get this all out in the open.
Oh, just a second. It's all out in the open, sir. You have an order of affiliation and you have an order of support, and you have a blood test that was done by a laboratory that the courts in your jurisdiction has deemed an appropriate facility for taking and drawing blood. 99.85. I suggest, sir, that you have to move on. You're going to pay support for this boy until he is 18 years old. And if you choose not to have a relationship with him, that's your loss and his loss. Now, when did she agree to take another test?
March the 19th is the day she signed the paper.
Let me see. Tell me about the conversation you had with her.
Well, it was pretty brief. I went to her residence and told her I didn't think the child was mine.
What made you think 8.5 years later, what woke up and, you know, you got this bee in your bonnet 8.5 years later that the child wasn't yours? What happened?
I mean, I always had my doubts.
But what was it 8.5 years later?
I mean, the child doesn't look like me. Not at all.
Does it look like his mother?
Doesn't even look like her.
Just a second. Doesn't look like the mother either.
Sick.
No.
You're being foolish, Mr. Bolden. Okay, so let me just understand. You went over there to her and you said to her, he doesn't look like me. I don't think he's mine. I want to take another blood test?
Right.
And she said, okay.
Yes.
Why would she agree 8.5 years later to take this test?
Maybe she was sure, you know, he was mine.
No. Why would she agree to take the test? That's something that just doesn't make sense to me.
Exactly.
What makes sense to me is that she would be angry with you, that she would feel as if you have shortchanged this boy by not participating in his life for 8.5 years, that while she gets child support from you, she would have preferred a little bit more support in other areas, emotional support with the boy, which you haven't given her. So you want me to believe that you went over there and said, listen, I want to take another blood test, so I not only cut off all emotional support, which I haven't given you, but I'm going to cut off financial support too, if he's not mine. So I want you to sign this piece of paper, and she just went and signed the piece of paper. Is that what you want me to believe?
First we went to the family court. I filed a petition.
Oh, okay. So first you went for the family court, and and what happened?
They denied me. The judge said...
Oh, just a second. So you went to the family court, and you filed a petition that said, I really want another blood test because I don't think he's mine because he doesn't look like me.
Right.
And you brought her to court.
Yes.
When he served you with the papers to go to family court.
And they sent me the notice of when the date was, and it was on March 2nd.
Okay. Were you surprised to get it?
Yes.
Were you annoyed?
Yeah, because I've been getting a lot of papers from him about crazy stuff.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You are frustrated and annoyed with him, right?
Yes.
You picked him. He can't help being stupid. You had a choice.
And later today...
When did this incident happen with your dad?
May 18th. He told me to step outside and ask for the razor. Then he slapped me in the face twice, put the razor to my face, and that's when I jerked away from him and started running.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Cardell Bolden claims ex-girlfriend Lisa Maker owes for a DNA test that never happened. Cardell says he arranged the test because Lisa's son looks nothing like him.
Did you sign this piece of paper?
Yes, because when we went to court that morning and we was leaving out of court and he says, Lisa, can we get more tests done? I says, no, I'm done with it. I said, I'm not doing anything. Only thing I need from you now is his insurance papers because he do pay medical insurance for him through his job. A couple days later, he comes to the house. Comes in, my son is in there. He never speaks, never says one word to my son, which he does it all the time, because he says that my son is not his. We had the test. I'm like, oh, well, if you want to sit up there and miss out, that's on you. I'm not worried about it. He says, here's the papers. I signed. I said, get out, because it didn't make sense for a grown man to walk in my house, not speak to that child or anything. He left. Lab court calls me.
So what you're telling me is you thought that these papers had to do with your son's medical insurance.
Because my son does not get Medicaid through the state. So when he leaves, lab court calls me. I told the lady, I said, look, I don't have to go take no test. The state says I don't. I ain't going to do it. Goodbye. Don't call my house no more. Hung up.
She knew what those papers were, Your Honor.
Why would I sit there and sign?
And we both read through them.
Listen to me. Don't answer. You're always supposed to read what you sign.
But how? I mean, my son is right in the house. This man walks in the house and not even speak to my son.
It's obnoxious. It's obnoxious.
Crazy.
It's obnoxious and stupid.
It is.
It's a product of a stupid mind, an uncaring mind. Mm-hmm. It's a product of somebody who says that it's the fault of a 9-year-old child to be born.
Yeah.
Why didn't you speak to him?
That's all irrelevant, Your Honor.
Why didn't you speak to him?
I didn't even see. Her son was not present. When I came in.
Right there.
Her cousin was there. Her son was not there.
He was in the house.
Just a second. Just a second. Have you ever spoken to him?
Yes.
What have you said to him?
Hey, how you doing?
I mean, I speak to him.
He doesn't know who his dad is, so he's making my son the same way he is. But it's all going to change.
Why not take the test?
I don't have to take anything.
To you. Goodbye.
I don't have to take.
Listen to me. You're in a court. I don't know where you think you are. So far, you're not losing, but you're irritating me. You are frustrated and annoyed with him, right?
Yes.
You picked him. You picked him to father your child. He can't help being stupid. You had a choice. You picked him. So I would suggest you keep your mouth shut. Right? Good. Your case is dismissed, sir. You don't wish to have a relationship with this child. That's your prerogative. You will support him until he's a majority. That's all.
My son has a lot of positive men in his life. If he doesn't want to step up to the plate, he ain't got to.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Young versus McIntyre step forward.
19-year-old student Quentin Young is suing his father, truck driver Robert McIntyre, for medical bills due to an assault. Quentin claims his father held a razor to his neck and slapped him twice.
Quentin, this is your dad.
Right.
And it is your complaint that last year he assaulted you.
Yes, ma'am.
And you had some medical bills.
Yes, ma'am.
That he had promised to pay.
Yes, ma'am.
He didn't.
Didn't.
You want him to pay the medical bills.
Right.
His father says that you were acting disrespectfully.
Right.
He slapped you.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's it.
And put a razor to my face after he slapped me.
Just a second.
Okay.
That's what he says.
Okay.
Your parents are divorced?
Yes, ma'am.
How long are they divorced?
Ever since I was 4 and I'm 20 now.
Who's this lady?
My mom.
She remarried?
Yes, ma'am.
Is your father remarried?
Many times, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
When did this incident happen with your dad?
May 18th of 2003.
And you were living with your mom?
Yes, ma'am.
Where did it happen?
It happened in the Oak Cliff area in Dallas, Texas, at his friend's house.
What were you doing at his friend's house?
We were supposed to take pictures that day. It was me, my father, my younger brother, and my other younger brother. My brother's right there.
Tell me what happened.
What happened was we went over to his friend's house. He had 4 outfits for all of us, which was me, my brother, my father, and my other little brother. I started to tear off the logo sign of the Dickies.
He was trying to cut it off, man.
Well,
with a razor blade.
I love the arts, and I like to make my own style of clothing. And
Then he should have bought his own.
Okay, so he bought 4 outfits.
Right, right.
So everybody would be dressed the same way.
Right, but he didn't buy them.
Where did he get them?
Well, my brother later told me that he stole them off his truck.
What kind of truck?
18-wheeler truck, but he stole and he works, you know, so that's what he did.
So you're taking the Dickie label off the pants?
Yes, ma'am.
And then what happened?
He told me to step outside and ask for the razor. Then he slapped me in the face twice and put the razor to my face, and that's when I jerked away from him and started running.
Well, did the razor cut you?
It
either cut you or it didn't.
It didn't cut me.
Okay, put your hand down. So he slapped you twice?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you weren't injured from his slapping you, were you?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Well, tell me about your injury.
Well, I went to the hospital and they said...
Why?
Because I was hurt, Your Honor.
Let me see the hospital report, please.
Okay.
Well, this is just a bill. I want to see the report.
I don't have the report. They're supposed to give them to me. They didn't give them to me in time.
Who took you to the hospital?
My mother drove me.
Step up.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, your son left and he called you, I assume after his father slapped him twice in the face. Where were you when he called you?
I was at home.
And you got in your car and you went and picked him up?
Yes, I did. And his face was swollen, and he had a cut on his face.
Where?
It was right...
I don't see anything about blood here.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. It wasn't like a big gash, but it was a small amount of blood.
I don't, listen to me. I don't see anything about blood here. I don't see anything about stitches here. I don't see anything about anything here. Why did you put your hands on him?
You know, Quentin had this attitude that, you know, he was just getting belligerent, you know, like coming around, you know, like smarting off and all that. The way
what did he say to you?
I asked him what was he doing. He said, you gave him to me, didn't you? So by him being in front of my other kids, let's go outside. You know, I'm not gonna.
Hey!
See what I mean?
Go ahead.
When he goes outside, he like backs up and balls his hands up, and I'm like, Quentin, you know, I grabbed him around the neck. Then he acted like, you know, raised one of his hands up, and that's when I slapped him. Because he's in front of my other kids, and I'm not having it. Where I was raised at, ma'am, respect.
You're absolutely right. You should respect your parents, and your parents shouldn't put their hands on you, especially if you're a grown-up. You don't put your hands on them.
I understand.
It's not a smart thing
I
to
understand.
do. You also don't overreact and take him to the hospital because he got slapped in the face. What?
All right, does it say in the report, of his report, that I balled up my fist to...
I don't care whether you did. I just told him he had no right to hit you.
Okay, okay.
I just told him he had no right to hit you. Shouldn't hit his child, especially a grown-up child.
That's right.
And if you did, you felt as if he disrespected you, and he didn't treat you in a fatherly way, and he didn't respect your art, and he didn't respect your individuality, and he didn't respect all that other thing. That's a lot of bull. He got 4 outfits to take a picture. You didn't like the outfit, suck it up, take the picture, and go home to your mama.
I was feeling the same way.
You understand?
I was feeling the same way, but he slapped me for it.
Then what'd you go outside and start cutting up the outfit for?
No, I was cutting it up on the inside.
In
then
front
he stepped.
of me, Your Honor.
Okay, in front of you.
Why didn't you wait until you got home?
That's what I asked.
We were taking pictures that day, Your Honor. So.
Why didn't you wait until you got home?
But why would I?
Your Honor, he's just wanted to show his dad. He's been away for many years.
Don't speak.
He's been away for many years, and my son, I have remarried, and my son just was reaching out. He yearned to be with his dad. I okayed many trips for him to go with him on the U-Haul truck. But when he got with him, he betrayed him by fighting him. He knows that he's in theater. He knows that his aspirations is to get into entertainment business, but he disrespected his own son. I'm okay. I'm okay. He disrespected his own son.
Listen to me. His son disrespected him.
Your Honor, he loves his son.
His son
he loves his dad to death.
Listen, that's why you're not paying attention. That moment, that day, your son was disrespectful for the moment. And I told his father he had no right to put his hands on him. He had no right to overreact. And neither does he. He wants to be an actor. Great. It doesn't mean you have to be abnormal.
But he didn't want to disrespect him.
Listen to me.
That's not what he wanted,
Get
Judge.
over it, madam. It's not a big deal in the scheme of things. It's not a big deal to take a picture with your father with an outfit that has a Dickie label on it or any label on it. It's not a big deal.
Away from the picture. The logo is small. It won't take away from the picture.
I got it for him, Your Honor.
Listen to me.
You stole it.
Speak quiet. Speak.
You got it.
Mr. McIntyre, shh. Don't speak. Don't speak.
Yes, ma'am.
All very unfortunate. And it's certainly very unfortunate that you overreacted and took him to a hospital and built up this medical bill that was ridiculous. You should have taken him home and put a cold rag on his head. In any event, I think you both behaved badly that day. I think you did. And I think if you encourage your son to think that he did the right thing, that's a big mistake.
I'm not, Your Honor.
Well, you shouldn't.
I wouldn't do
Well,
that.
you shouldn't. And if his father hasn't been much of a father to him over the last, 20 years, 15 years, whatever it is, you're not going to make up for it in one picture, sir.
Exactly.
There's a lot of history that goes on.
Yes, ma'am.
But one thing that you don't do, especially with a child who you haven't been around and haven't been a father to his whole life, you don't put your hands on him.
Exactly.
You got it?
Yes, ma'am.
So you owe him an apology for that. You owe him an apology for that. That's all. Case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
You've been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat.
Miss Willis, you've been taking care of Miss Banchler's daughter for years.
Yes.
She first came to live with you because you were married to her father?
Yes.
He's in prison?
No, he's just not around at all.
Left.
Gone.
And you have how many children with him?
None.
You have children of your own?
I do, right.
But he brought this child into your home?
Right.
When?
August 28th of 2000.
How old is she?
She's 11. She'll be 12 in June.
And you've been taking care of her ever since?
Solely.
When did your husband leave?
In 2002.
Where were you?
In Washington State.
What were you doing there?
I live there.
What you want, Miss Willis, is you want support for this little girl from her mother because you've been taking care of her, according to you, with no support from her mother.
None.
Ball's in your court, madam. I'd like to hear you.
I have evidence here of money order receipts as well as a letter that I wrote. I have package receipts that I've mailed packages to
I'm not
her.
interested in packages.
Okay.
Forget packages. Packages are not support. Okay. How much support have you sent for your daughter since 2002?
There's one for $150
Let me just,
here.
Give me just a second. I have to do this. 150. Go ahead.
There's one here for $30.
$30.
One for $100. One for $150. And one for $50.
Who were those money orders made out to?
They were made out to her father. Only one of them was made out to Oki.
She's never made one out to me.
What was the date of the last one?
September 8th, 2003.
Okay, since September 8th, 2003, you have sent no support for your daughter.
Not cash.
Well, that's all I'm interested in, is cash. How do you support yourself? With
Work.
packages?
No.
Your boss at the end of the week give you packages?
No.
Well, at the end of the week, your boss gives you money.
Right.
Well, that's support. That's what people barter in this country. You give them dollars, and they give you bagels and lox, and milk, and chopped meat, and chicken. You know, that's how we survive in this country. How did you expect your children to survive since September of 2003?
I felt like that was her father's responsibility.
Wrong.
So I sent her to him. He said that he would take care of her, and obviously he did not do that.
Well, when did you find out that he split?
I found out when Judge Judy called me.
You didn't know that before?
No.
Well, that's interesting. So the last contact you had with your child was over 2.5 years ago. Is that right?
Yes.
Why is that? Did you move?
No. I just moved in September. Before that, I stayed in the same house. She was out here last summer also, and I let her at her mother's house, and I let my daughter call over there to speak with her grandmother. My daughter speak with her grandmother to tell her happy birthday. She answered the phone. My daughter said, "Mommy, like, what are you doing out here?" She didn't even speak. You know, she passed the phone to her mother instead of talking to her daughter. I called back the next morning to speak with her. Her mother told me she already left back for Washington.
Listen to me. Since Miss Willis has been caring for your daughter, you provided $480. That amounts to 32 cents a day. Do you think that's enough?
No, it isn't.
What kind of a job do you have?
I'm a custodial.
How much do you earn a week?
$400.
Here you have a child that you expect to exist on 30 cents a day. It's not her responsibility to support your child.
She took the responsibility.
No, she didn't. She didn't adopt your child.
At any point, she could have sent my daughter back to me at any point.
That is the most ridiculous statement that I've ever heard. If you chose to have a baby and not be a mother, that's your prerogative. If you were smart enough to say, listen, I'm not the maternal type. I'm not good at raising a child. You probably can do it better. I'm going to let you do it because I can't, or I'm not interested in doing it. That's honest. But don't tell me that you've got this burning maternal instinct in your stomach and all she had to do was call you and you would have taken your daughter, because anybody who is a parent, they wake up in the morning and they go into the nursery and they say, gee, my kid's not here. You know? They don't wait 2.5 years.
I didn't wait 2.5 years. I've tried on multiple occasions to call them. They told me that I cannot call or send her any more packages.
Listen to me,
That's what
my
her
friend.
father
Listen
said.
to me very carefully. At this point, Miss Willis is a legal stranger to your child. At any time, you could have petitioned the court for immediate custody of your daughter. I doubt that you can do it now. I would think that any judge that would give you custody of your child at this point had to be missing one in his six-pack. However, there was a time immediately after the child left your custody when you could have done that. So you can relinquish custody of your child to somebody else, but when you relinquish custody of your child to a stranger, you pay support. And what Miss Willis is asking for, as far as I'm concerned, is a minimal amount of retroactive support for the child in the time that she supported the child. What she's asking for is $5,000 over the course of 4 years. It's a little more than $1,000 a year. Figure it out. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She had numerous opportunities to get her daughter back.
I've been denied the opportunity to do it, not necessarily by the plaintiff, but by her father.
Well, she's my daughter. I couldn't imagine her even going back with her.
I don't accept the fact that I'm going to have a custody issue with her. She is my daughter.
I will fight to the end to make sure she stays with me forever.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Jones versus Luis Castillo. Step forward, please.
Douglas Jones is suing his cousin, bus driver Dwight Lewis, and girlfriend Mary Ellen Castillo for damages to his home as the result of a fight. Douglas says Mary Ellen and his girlfriend went toe-to-toe.
Mr. Jones, Mr. Lewis is your cousin, according to your complaint, and this lady with him is his girlfriend.
That's correct.
At some time, for reasons that I'm sure you will explain to me, you allowed Mr. Lewis, his girlfriend, and her 3 children to move into your home, a home that you shared with your girlfriend.
That's correct.
And any other children?
Yes, 2 boys.
Whose children are those?
Ours.
The 2 women, for some reason, did not get along.
Right.
And there was an altercation that became physical. And it is your claim that this altercation that became physical resulted in Miss Castillo taking a plate and throwing it against your sliding glass doors, causing the door to break. You want her to pay $600 for the glass door.
Which the glass door that's been chipped, the kitchen window, she broke also.
Ms. Castillo says you're lucky she's not suing you and your girlfriend because she was injured during that altercation. An altercation that was started by your girlfriend.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She starts going, oink, oink, you a pig, oink, oink. And she spit in my face and ran.
So what did you do?
I snatched her up when she was running. And I threw her on the ground and we were fighting.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Douglas Jones says his cousin, Dwight Lewis, and his girlfriend, Mary Ellen Castillo, owe for damage to his house. Douglas says the damage occurred during a fight between Mary Ellen and his girlfriend, Laminda.
Were you present during the altercation?
I know, I was in a room next to the kitchen.
Step up here. What's your name?
Laminda.
Laminda, you have a last name?
Malik.
When did they move in with you?
They moved in June of '04, and the fight took place at August.
It was right after your back
30th.
surgery.
Right, right.
August of 31st of '04.
Correct.
What started the fight?
We were in the kitchen, and the night before we had been fighting the whole night. My dad was just going to California, so he had stopped by, and she was still calling me names the next morning. It was over a washer and just things that she was like nitpicking on, you know, if I did the dishes or, you know, putting dishes to each side of the sink. I mean, it was ridiculous. It was little kid fighting, but she was still doing it the next day. When my dad came over, she stood over in the carport, and she starts like folding her arms and just staring at me, and I'm like, I'm trying not to look over at her, and she starts going, oink, 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 you a pig, oink, oink.
That's the day before.
Yeah, later on, we were cooking, and she spit in my face and ran. And at the time, she couldn't really talk because she had sores in her mouth. And so, I don't know, to me, that was assault. You know, that was assault to me. That was it. I had it, and I couldn't take it no more. And
so what did you do?
I snatched her up when she was running.
What does that mean, you snatched her up?
By her hair.
So you grabbed her by the hair?
Yeah.
And what did you do?
And I threw her on the ground, and we were fighting. Then her husband jumped in and went to go pull me off.
And that's when I heard the commotion.
That's when he heard the commotion.
And I just had a back operation a couple of days before that.
I'm sorry about that. You feeling better?
A little bit.
Good. Can we get back to the story, please? All right. So now he comes in to try to pull you off. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. And when he started to pull me off, I felt like I was being, like it was both of them. She was still getting her, kicking me and stuff, and I had been threatened by her the whole time.
Well, he's trying to pull you off, so evidently you're on top.
No, pull us apart, actually, because at the time we were both still wrestling on the ground, and I had been told many times, no, don't mess with Mary Ellen, you know, that she was going to whip my...
Okay.
Sorry.
Where are all the children when this is going on?
They were scattered all over the house. Some were playing out in the yard, and some were in the living room.
The children didn't come in to hear what all the commotion was?
Yeah, a couple of them came to the kitchen door after the fight had broken up. See, they've been nitpicking at each other for a while, especially Mary Ellen, because it seemed like she wanted to be the alpha female, and you don't do that when you're invited to somebody's house. I asked my cousin and them to come up here because Mary Ellen had got kicked out of his daughter's house in Georgia, where they moved into another house, and they said they had black mold and the mold was killing them. So I said, well, come on up and, you know, stay with me. You got 3 kids, so get them in school up here and come up here. I didn't expect her to come over and take over.
I wouldn't try to take over from her.
Evidently, she tried.
I want to know how the window got broken.
After the fight went on, I think Mary Ellen was very upset about getting beat because she was promoted. Come on. My cousin was promoting her as, you know, this really good fighter. She beat up 2 cops in California and all this kind of stuff. And she was upset getting beat, so she took it out on my house. You know,
Did you see her throw the plate?
No, I heard the plate. I saw her hitting the door with the plate, though, because once I heard the kitchen window break, I was on the phone with my brother, Wolfat Jones, and I came in. She was at the sliding glass door, banging it, but she had broke a plate on the sliding glass door already.
Why were you hitting the sliding glass door with the plate?
It wasn't broken at all.
Why were you hitting it with the plate?
She attacked me when there was blood all over the floor, and she gave me a scar right here, and I have 4 stitches. I have 2 cuts, 4 stitches.
Sounds like you got the better of the bargain.
And my window still isn't fixed. I have plastic on it. You know, in Seattle it rains a lot, and it ran up a lot of bills because I'm raising my 2 boys. I'm out on L&I right now, so I don't have a lot of money to fix the window. Labor in the industry. I got hurt at work. I work in a prison. So I couldn't get it fixed. They said that they were going to fix it.
When did they say they were going to fix it?
The next day afterwards, he said, well, let's go to Lowe's and find another window. And I said,
Did you say that, Mr. Lewis?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
So why didn't you fix it?
He didn't want a Lowe's window. He wanted it professionally done, which would have cost a lot, and we didn't have the money at the time.
The reason why I didn't want him to fix my window, Your Honor, he changed my toilet seat with a crowbar.
Let me see the estimate on the window. As long as Mr. Lewis agreed to fix it, then he's got to fix it.
Well, Your Honor, he tried to fix my toilet bowl and cracked it. I don't want him to...
No, he's not coming back to fix it now.
Yeah, no, I don't want him to fix it anyway. Okay. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Do you have a picture of the patio door?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
I'd like to see it, please.
I took it with a camera phone, so you can still see it good, though.
Quite frankly, what distresses me more than anything else is that you have 5 children there who are witnessing these
That's
2 women in a mud fight on the
window.
kitchen floor. And according to your cousin, at least, you seem to think that it's wonderful that she's a good fighter.
He always did. He always did.
You've heard the fictionalized account. What I will tell you what truly happened.
Go ahead, I'm willing to listen.
When we left Georgia, we left Marietta because the house we were in had too much mold in it.
Tell me about your daughter.
Mary Ellen and the children wanted to go to Washington, to Uncle Dougie's house. So we went up there. He had told us, he had assured us beforehand that Laminda was not living there. He had kicked her out a year before because they weren't getting along.
Where were the children? His children living?
His children were there.
But not their mother?
No. He had hired a nanny for a while.
Is that right so far, sir?
That's correct.
Okay.
He had hired a nanny. She came over and beat up the nanny one day. That's why she had a warrant. That's why after she assaulted Mary Ellen, she had to split. That's why once we broke them apart in the kitchen during the fight, he was trying to get her out of the place before the police arrived.
Mr. Lewis, when you arrived there, was she there?
No, she was not. She has her own place in
When
Bremerton.
did she come back?
When he needed to have his back operation. His oldest son has diabetes. He did not trust either of us to give him his medication. We've never done it.
But she had.
So she had. They had been together since the kids were small until he got rid of her. Well, when she came back in, she was back in her house. She was pushing her around. She even tried to push me around, telling me to get out of my cousin's room.
Which was my room at the time?
No, you slept in the extra bedroom. He would let you come in there once in a while.
No. Okay.
For whatever.
Becoming clear to me, why did you eject her from the house?
She's been gone for at least a year and a half, maybe 2 years. Well, she liked going out a lot, you know. And
she liked to party.
Exactly, yeah.
And that wasn't good for your children?
No.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
There's a reason why you tell the mother of your children she can't live in your house anymore.
Right.
I mean, I don't have to go into all the details.
We actually parted our own ways.
there's a reason you tell the mother of your children that she can't live in your house anymore and she's leaving without her children.
I didn't leave without my children, Your Honor.
Right.
I didn't leave without my children. I had my children with me when I left them. I stayed in the shelter with my kids, Your Honor. So
somehow the children got back with their father.
Yeah, they did, because I was a housewife with nothing to stand on when I left him.
You have to pay for the window and the door. If you're still together, she looks confused. You understand that you understand that you have to pay for the window and the door.
Yes, Your
You
Honor.
said you were going to pay for it if she wants to.
वालेकुम सलाम क्या हाल है अल्लाह पाक का शुक्र है मैं ठीक और क्या चल रहा है आजकल हो गया क्या मतलब समझ नहीं आई इस बात की बिल्कुल नहीं आई सिर से ऊपर तक गई है तुम्हारी ये वाली बात वालेकुम सलाम रुक यार इसका क्या मतलब है फिलहाल अच्छा अच्छा ठीक है I am so happy why अच्छा तो गेम प्ले करें तो ऐसा करते हैं शुरू करते हैं कोई तुम्हारे पास अगर फ्रेंड बैठे तो बुला लो मैं क्लेन में देखता हूँ कोई लड़के क्लेन में तो नहीं है वैसे बैठे मैं उनको बुला लेता हूँ हेलो अस्सलाम वालेकुम क्या हाल है स्टार क्या हाल है ओले
यार आवाज़ बहुत स्लो आ रहा है
आवाज़ स्लो आ रहा है ना कर यार इतना ऊंचा ऊंचा बोल रहा हूँ
माइक में मसला हो
ओह ऐसे ही शायद कुछ होगा फिर। तो फिर क्या करना चाहिए? ऊंचा बोलना चाहिए या इससे भी थोड़ा सा कम बोलना चाहिए?
ठीक है, ऐसे ठीक।
यार ब्रदर बताओगे तो पता चलेगा ना।
ऐसे
एक मिनट यार,
क्या करना है?
गेम ही खेलना है।
गेम खेलना है।
गेम आप खेल रहे हो या नहीं?
क्यों नहीं, मैं तो खेल रहा हूँ।
अगर खेलना है तो ओके है मेरी जान, अगर नहीं खेलना तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। क्यों
क्या
ना?
खेलना है? क्या खेलना है?
फिलहाल तो पबजी खेलना है, आगे का पता नहीं है।
हाँ।
ओह शिट नहीं, क्रोशिट यार। किसको बुला लूं? चलो यार देखते हैं।
I made the top 3 just now. I got the Hawkeye medal.
इवेंट साथ बहुत आ गए हैं।
चलें।
Marked a location. Watch out! आगे दुश्मन है। Don't give up. Your teammates can still recall you. Watch out!
बोल ही जा रहा हूँ कब से, फिर भी भाई
Marked a location. Marked a vehicle.